It all comes down to this. The Whitey Red Sox ruled ruthlessly atop the Eastern Division nearly all summer long. But now, after dropping 6 in a row out of the All-Star break, that crown might fall from atop their head. A Brewster win last night while YD was washed out in Chatham means a once 11-point lead has turned into a virtual tie atop the standings. YD's best bet to win the division? Cool down a scorching hot Brewster ball club. The Red Sox welcome the Whitecaps at Red Wilson Field for one final time. And for the last time in the regular season, we welcome you to the broadcast booth above Red Wilson Field. Sam Lebowitz alongside Carlo Jimenez. Red Sox have one more to play tomorrow thanks to yesterday's rainout in Chatham, but these Red Sox have lost 6 in a row. Brewster has not cooled down on the other side since the All-Star break. These two teams sit at 45 points each atop the Eastern Division standings, Carlo.
Yeah, and what more could you want? A game for the Eastern Division Championship in the regular season here today, and two teams, Sam, going in opposite directions. Brewster has added a couple of bats, and they have been on fire, averaging over 7 runs in their last 5 games. They have a chance to get their first 5-game winning streak in over 3 years. You look at the flip side in YD, they've lost 6 in a row. A 7-game losing streak would be the worst out of any team in the last 2 years. Only worst losing streak, 12 in a row by Hyannis last year. Nobody's going to catch that.
Yeah, Red Sox can't catch that because this is the penultimate game of the season after yesterday's rainout in Chatham. They'll make that game up tomorrow at 7 o'clock at Veterans Field. It could matter if these two teams tie. The Red Sox will need a tie or a win tomorrow to clinch the Eastern Division. So, Carlo, that rainout for the Red Sox actually might help their chances.
Yeah, you think about if this game comes away with a tie, YD can almost pick kind of who they want to play in that playoffs. They could decide to throw the game at Chatham and take on whoever is the 3rd-seeded team, or they could decide to go for it at Chatham and take on whoever is the 4th-seeded team, Orleans and Harwich doing the flip-flopping there. So maybe gives you a chance if you're Scott Pickler to think about matchups a little bit more going into the game against Chatham. You do lose that day of rest. We'll see how that affects a team that looks like they could use some rest.
It also helped the Red Sox to reset their pitching rotation a little bit. They turned to Drew Dowd, the Stanford left-hander, today, and we will introduce you to him as well as the Brewster starting lineup after the national anthem in just a moment. We'll be right back here on the Red Sox Baseball Network. I'm at Red Wilson Field between the Whitecaps and the YD Red Sox. And Carlo, this one matters for all the marbles. Two teams atop the Eastern Division standings at 45 points apiece. This is Brewster's final time out there this summer. They played yesterday. YD didn't. Got washed out in Chatham by some surprise rainstorms. So the Red Sox will play another game after today. Brewster will not in the regular season. Brewster, if they win today, they have the tiebreaker. They win the division. The Red Sox on the other side, if they win today, the division is theirs tomorrow, and Chatham does not matter towards the standings for these YD Red Sox. It might for Chatham for that last playoff spot in the East, but that remains to be seen thanks to action going on for Orleans as well today. Get you the lineups against the left-hander for YD, Drew Dowd. Dowd making his fourth appearance, all starts for these YD Red Sox. The Stanford left-hander is 0-1 with a 2.07 ERA, has thrown just 8 2/3 innings, has not yet gotten an out in a fourth inning of any start. We'll see how long the Red Sox push him today, but they need him to be at his best. The Red Sox have been falling behind in games early on, and the Brewster Whitecaps have been scoring lots of runs early as well. The lineup for the Whitecaps goes as follows. The shortstop, Carson DiMartini, will lead off, followed by the third baseman, Nick LaRusso. Cam Fisher, the DH, bats third, followed by the scorching hot catcher, Curtis Byrne. He cleans up. Dylan Goldstein, the left fielder, bats fifth. Parks Harbor out of Georgia, the first baseman, he bats sixth. Davis Diaz, the second baseman, bats seventh, followed by the right fielder, Grayson Tatro, in the 8-hole. And the center fielder, Ryan Lasko, will round out the Brewster lineup. The temperature at first pitch as we get underway, 84 degrees and sunny, some cloud cover over top, but lots of blue poking out from between it. A nice crowd on hand on this Tuesday afternoon in South Yarmouth. The Red Sox, for the final time, the home team in the regular season. Of course, as we hope the Red Sox will have multiple playoff games here at Red Wilson Field. Regardless of whether they win the division, they will have at least one, but at least one guaranteed, regardless of outcome today.
Sam, key for me is going to be, can the YD Red Sox keep Brewster off the board in the beginning of the game? During this 6-game losing streak, the Red Sox have not led, which is hard to believe when you think about how much baseball they've played. Brewster, on the other hand, is averaging 7 runs a game with their last 5, and as we talked to their broadcast before, they score early. Can you keep it a 0-0 game through the first couple of stanzas?
This Brewster team put up 10 runs in the first 3 innings yesterday in Orleans. The Firebirds almost came back in that game. Still an 11-8 win for the Whitecaps out at Stony Brook Elementary. Left on left, Carson DiMartini, the shortstop, will get into the batter's box against Drew Dowd, working from the first base side of the rubber. His high socks pulled up to his knees, a tan glove that he sets above his belt. He gets the sign from Fernando Gonzalez. The first pitch is popped up into shallow left field, heading towards the line. Caden Connor, he camps out underneath it, makes a 2-hand catch. 1 pitch, 1 out for Drew Dowd, and that's how this one starts. Good chance to get you the defense for the YD Red Sox. Fernando Gonzalez doing the catching for Drew Dowd. Around the infield, first base, Johnny Long. Second base, Cole Carrig. At shortstop is Woody Haydeen and Mike Bovey over at third. Left to right in the outfield, you met Caden Connor. Homer Bush Jr.'s in center. Braden Montgomery is in right. Here's Nick LaRusso, the third baseman, a right-hand hitter. Two-tone bat, first pitch to him, a curveball that drops in for strike 1. Says John Patala, the home plate umpire, calling the balls and strikes in this one. Rick Antonio down the first baseline, and Rick Emerson down the third baseline. A pair of Ricks on the infield doing the officiating. 0-1 is on one hop the other way, past the diving Johnny Long, and in a right field a base hit. So LaRusso, who in just 6 games with the Whitecaps had been hitting .360, and he opens his day with the first hit for either side.
Yeah, coming off an 0-for-5 game yesterday was the first time he didn't have a hit.
The Maryland Terp stands at first base with 1 out. Scoreless game just getting underway here at sunny Red Wilson Field a little after 4:30. The infield will shift to the pull side for the DH Cam Fisher. Fisher, a .238 hitter. A teal barrel, he rests on his shoulder. And the first pitch from Dowd, he squares to bunt, pulls it back, and takes one just low for ball 1. Fisher, a mini 2-game hit streak. He's 3 for his last 7. He had a home run at Wareham 2 nights ago. Red Sox have kept him quiet all summer. He's 0 for 9 against YD pitching. Down along set, a 1-0. Is pulled up the first baseline and foul, heading down towards where a nice grouping of fans have camped out in the bleachers past the Brewster dugout. Most of the fans today looks like camped out down the third baseline. The Red Sox dugout ends where the bleachers start, and where the bleachers end is a small berm filled with fans who have lawn chairs set up. Not a lot of green showing down that left field line. Runner on first, 1 out, 1-1 count to the left-hand hitting Fisher, and it misses down in the dirt. Nice block by Fernando Gonzalez, and the count 2-1. Fisher out of UNC Charlotte. Previously in the Coastal Plains League this summer, he had been playing with the Forest City Owls. Only played in 3 games in the Coastal Plains League before he got picked up by Brewster. 2 balls and a strike. On its way. Swing and a miss. Dips below the bat of Fisher. The count even on him. And we'll see how long Drew Dowd lasts in this game, because we believe he's on a pretty firm innings limit. He's only gone 2 and 3 innings in his first 3 starts for YD. He fakes to first before stepping back on the rubber. His last outing, he gave up a run over 3 innings in Wareham. Gave up 3 hits and a walk. Looked okay. Time called at home plate. The Red Sox in need of a good start. It was beneficial that the rainout yesterday happened for this pitching staff. They were going to throw Matt Cavanaugh, who's been a reliever all summer, to start that game. 2-2. Swing and a miss. He got him a high fastball. And he blew away Fisher for the second out. Still scoreless top half of the first. With a runner on first, here's the cleanup hitter, Curtis Byrne, the catcher, a right-hand hitter. And Byrne, as hot as any hitter on Cape Cod, an all-star reserve for this Brewster team as a catcher. Sitting just 267 on the summer, but he's homered 3 times. All 3 of those homers came in consecutive games played for him between July 25th and July 29th. That was earlier this week, really. In the right-hand batter's box, first pitch to him is swung on and missed a fastball, and Dowd looks like he's got a little extra zip on that heater. Guy who in his first start in Harwich was sitting about 86 miles an hour, but he can get it up to that 89 to 91 range. Runner on first, scoreless game, top of the first. No balls and a strike to Byrne. On its way, curveball drops in nicely for strike 2, and Dowd in control right now, well ahead of Byrne, 0-2.
I don't think I've ever seen Drew Dowd had so much movement on his curveball, Sam. It really drops right before the batter gets a good look at it. He has been filthy with that pitch.
See if he goes back to the curveball. Might try to bury one in the dirt on Byrne. Off first, LaRusso with 2 out. The 0-2 is in the dirt, a curveball. Fernando Gonzalez, a nice job to block it. No advance by LaRusso as Byrne watched it in all the way. They count 1-2. Byrne hitting .412 over his last 4 starts. And over his last 5 games played, he has driven in 10 runs for Brewster, has 21 driven in all summer in just 29 games played. Behind in the count, 1-2. The Stanford Cardinal gets his sign and deals and misses low, a changeup. Again, a little bit in the dirt. Fernando Gonzalez, a backhand snap to ensure it doesn't go by him. The count evens. It's 2-2. A small contingent of fans has set up under the trees beyond the outfield fence in left center, just trying to find some shade on this sunny Tuesday evening. Time called at home plate.
Curtis Byrne getting hot, Sam. A little bit of deja vu for these Brewster Whitecaps. During their playoff run and championship run a season ago, he got really hot for them as well. Was hitting 190 in the regular season and hit above 300 in that playoff run.
He's been absolutely key again for Brewster. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. He got him out in front of changeup, running down and away from him. Burns swung over top. A pair of strikeouts for Drew Dowd in a scoreless first. He works around a one-out single, and we move on to the bottom of the first here at Red Wilson Field. The Red Sox trying to get their first lead in over a week. We'll give you the lineup when we come back on the Red Sox Baseball Network.
T-Mobile's a proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. T-Mobile is committed to serve those who serve, and that's why they go above and beyond for our active duty military and veterans. Visit your neighborhood T-Mobile store or T-Mobile.com to learn more.
Bottom first here at Red Wilson Field. Sam Lebowitz alongside Carlo Jimenez. The Red Sox have their work cut out for them against the right-hander out of Oklahoma, Colton Sunloff, who we'll see come from a little bit from this side. A bit of a funky arm angle for just the 19-year-old. Sunloff working in his 7th game this summer, and it's just his first start. So we'll see how long he goes. Brewster broadcasters Johnny and Doug told us don't expect him to go too long. He hasn't gone more than 2 innings in any of his outings so far this summer. The ERA is above 8.5 for Sunloff in those 6 outings. His worst one came his last one in just a third of an inning to Wareham on the 27th of July. He gave up 3 runs on 2 walks and a hit. The Red Sox lineup that he will face goes as follows. The shortstop Woody Hayden will lead off, followed by Cole Carrig, the second baseman. Braden Montgomery, a third straight switch hitter, bats third, plays right field, followed by the DH. Hayden Schott, Caden Connor, the left fielder, bats fifth. Homer Bush out in center, bats sixth. Johnny Long plays first, bats seventh. Mike Bovee plays third, bats eighth. And Fernando Gonzalez, the catcher, rounds out the Red Sox lineup. A scoreless first inning for Drew Dowd, and the Red Sox trying to do what they haven't done since before the All-Star break. That's take a lead in a game. The Red Sox, losers of 6 straight. They've fallen behind early in pretty much all those ball games. But after a scoreless top half of the first, we'll see if they can get out to a hot start against the Oklahoma Sooner, Colton Sunloff. Sunloff, a Utah native, stands 6'5" on the mound, pins his glove against his lower torso, getting his sign from his catcher, Curtis Byrne, working out of the stretch first base side. First pitch, switch hitter batting left. And Woody Hayden fouls it off left side. Hayden playing in just his 3rd game for the YD Red Sox. He's gotten off to a pretty good start. Had 2 hits, including 2 walks in his first game. That was in Falmouth. Took an 0 for 4 against Hyannis last time the Red Sox played. 0-1. Taken down and outside. The count 1-1. Little sinker there from Sunloff, who comes about low 3/4 sidearm on the mound. Red Sox start their lineup with 3 straight switch hitters against him. 1-1, and Hayden squares to bunt, takes a ball in the dirt. The count 2-1. Hayden with the Princeton Whistle Pigs of the Appalachian League. Was a .245 hitter across 26 games. Had just 1 home run in those 26 games, but he had a home run in the All-Star game and was named the MVP of that All-Star game just 3 days before the Red Sox got him. 2-1. Comes inside and drilled him. Fastball got him just above the knee on the upper quad. And the Red Sox have the leadoff man on and a guy with speed. Hayden stands at first with nobody out.
Yeah, Woody stole 13 bases this spring and then stole 11 of them in just his 26 games in the Appian League. So an opportunity as we get to former Anchorage Bucks in for the YD Red Sox. Cole Carrig and Woody Hayden played summer ball last summer together in Anchorage, Alaska. with the Bucks.
A long way away from Cape Cod. Another switch hitter, again batting left. And Haiti and the Red Sox, a little taste of their own medicine. The Red Sox lead the league in hit batters as a pitching staff. But the first batter for the Red Sox today drilled by a pitch, and Carrick will try to make something of that. Cole, the Red Sox leading hitter, first pitch to him is taken low for ball 1. 321 hitter coming into this day. That's tops on the team in average. He's also leading the team in stolen bases with 15. Haiti has yet to steal with the Red Sox over at first, but he can motor. We saw that when he scored ahead of Braden Montgomery's triple back in Falmouth the other day. They'll check on him. He dives head first, safely at first base. The defense for these Brewster Whitecaps, Curtis Byrne is catching for Sunloft. Parks Harbor there at first base. Davis Diaz at second. Carson DiMartini at short. And Nick LaRusso at third. Left to right in the outfield is Dylan Goldsmith, Ryan Lasco, and Grayson Tatro. Carrick playing second base for the Red Sox today. And the 1-0 to him is taken down and outside. Again, it cuts away from Carrick in the count 2-0. Cole has played just about everywhere for the Red Sox this summer. A lot of center field, some shortstop. Has been there at second base a few times. Even played third one game. That came against Brewster just a few weeks ago. And in the last game here against Hyannis, he even got in behind the plate catching for the Red Sox for an inning. The 2-0 is fouled straight back to the netting. Carrick got a good rip at that. Count 2-1 with a runner on first. Scoreless game, home half of the first. Just getting started here in South Yarmouth. Red Sox have 3 active catchers on their roster. Wally Perez started that game behind the plate, wound up getting lifted for a pinch hitter. Then Ryan Proto was lifted as well after coming into the game. 2 balls and a strike. Swinging a pop-up, left side of the infield in foul territory, and it's going to drop just out of play. But Fernando Gonzalez, who's the Red Sox primary catcher now, Scott Pickler really wanted to just get him off his feet, make sure he didn't get into that game at all because he had played the previous day. He's been dealing with a little bit of a knee issue, and the Red Sox want him fresh for the stretch run. So Cole Carrick, who has experience catching, hasn't caught all summer, though he did work out as a catcher at the workouts at Fenway Park earlier this month. Got in for the 8th inning behind the plate. They'll check again on Haiti, and Harbor has to lunge to corral it to make sure it doesn't go down the right field line. Almost disaster there for Colton Sunloft.
Curtis Byrne behind the plate has thrown out 9 of 37 base stealers this summer, Sam. He's got a pretty good arm.
We'll see if he's running on a 2-2. He is, and the pitch is slashed foul down the third baseline and out of play. So Carrick defending the plate. Didn't look like Haydeen had a perfect jump. And he'll trot back to first base with a fresh coat of paint across that white alternate uni that the Red Sox are sporting today. The Sox in red on the upper chest and the American flag design below the armpits. White pants, red stripe down the side. For Brewster, it's their navy tops with the gradient Brewster in teal and blue across the front. Blue caps, white pants. 2-2. This is down and outside. A changeup, and Carrick works the count full. Red Sox look like they're seeing Colton Sunloft pretty good through these first 2 hitters. The hit by pitch to Haydeen to start. Now a full count to Carrick. Cole, with the blonde hair flowing out of the back of his Navy helmet, will try to find his way aboard or at least move Haydeen on along. 3-2, he's running. And the pitch is swung on and missed in the dirt. It goes to the backstop. Haydeen is heading on his way to third base, and he's going to make it with a feet-first slide. Burns' throw is late. Carrick is out. He tried to run to first base, but with the base occupied prior to the pitch, he's not allowed to do that. But with Haydeen running on the pitch and with all his speed, he advances 2 pitches on a wild pitch.
An opportunity for Braden Montgomery, who has done nothing but pick up RBIs since he put on a Whitey Red Sox uniform. Braden with 15 of them. He's 3rd on the team. We'll see if he can add more as the infield comes in with 1 out.
15 RBIs in just 16 games played for the switch hitter batting left. The Red Sox looking for their first lead since July 25th came in the top of the fourth inning against Katuitt. They led by a run. The first pitch misses outside. And Byrne sprawling a little bit into the right-hand batter's box to snag that one. Sunloff is getting a lot of movement on these pitches, the fastballs and the changeups, moving away from the left-hand hitter, but he hasn't really started them particularly close to home plate most of the time. Montgomery also perhaps the best power hitter in this lineup with 3 home runs. 1-0. Comes inside, but grabs the inside corner, a called strike. That one started towards Montgomery's back hip and moved into the strike zone. The count 1-1 on him. Scoreless game, bottom of the first, but a chance for the Red Sox to score an early run with Hayden on at third and only 1 away. Infield is all the way in. Outfield playing fairly deep against the power-hitting Montgomery. 1-1. On the ground, off the glove of the pitcher. It caroms into shallow right field. It's a base hit. Montgomery takes a big turn. He's heading on his way to second. He gets in with a feet-first slide. An RBI infield double for Braden Montgomery. And he motors into scoring position, scoring Woody Hayden. An early lead for the Red Sox and a good start to this game. It's 1-0.
For the first time in 48 innings, the Whitey Red Sox have a lead. It feels like it's been forever, Sam, but a great start for Whitey. You wanted to avoid having Brewster jump out to the lead and get runs on the board early in a game that matters. Red Sox have a 1-0 advantage.
Chance for a crooked number 2. Here's Hayden Schott, left-hand hitter out of Columbia. Runner on second, a run home with 1 out. Sunloff's first pitch is high, up at the shoulder tops of Hayden Schott. The count 1 ball, no strike. Schott, a .276 hitter across a week's worth of games. He's hit in 6 of 7. And 0 for 3 against Hyannis on the 31st. Broke a 6-game hitting streak to begin his summer. 1-0. Misses a little away, says home plate umpire John Patala. The count 2-0 on Hayden Schott. In those 7 games, Schott has driven in 5. Homered in his summer debut, has not had an extra base hit since. The 2-0 is ripped to center. Lasco charges, makes the catch. Montgomery thought that ball was going to be down for a hit, and he gets doubled off second as Lasco's throw back is in time. Schott smoked that baseball, but it hung up for the Rutgers center fielder, and his throw back to Carson DiMartini was in time for the line drive double play. Red Sox do get a run in the home half of the first inning. A good start for Drew Dowd, who heads back to the mound. Second inning coming up, 1-0 Red Sox over the Whitecaps.
Cape Cod Veterinary Specialists offers premier emergency and specialty care for your pet when it matters most. Located in Buzzards Bay and Dennis. Learn more at CapeCodVetSpecialists.com. That's CapeCodVetSpecialists.com.
Back here for the top half of the second at Red Wilson Field, the Red Sox, their first lead in 48 innings with a first inning run thanks to Braden Montgomery's bouncing ball infield double that caromed off the pitcher and past the drawn in infield. So Drew Dowd, the beneficiary of that. He leads 1-0 and gets Dylan Goldstein, Parks Harbor, and Davis Diaz, 5, 6, and 7 in the Brewster lineup to face him here in the top of the second in South Yarmouth. A nice crowd on hand at Red Wilson Field, and this is a fight for the division title. The winner of this game, should there be a winner, will hoist the division crown. First pitch to Goldstein, misses down and outside, a curveball, and the count is 1 ball, no strikes. Goldstein, a new addition to this Brewster lineup, playing in his 4th game for the Whitecaps, a .417 hitter. He has entered this lineup and produced 5 hits and 12 at-bats. 1-0. Left-hand hitter takes outside another curveball, and the count 2-0. And after Dowd was able to dot that curveball really wherever he wanted it in the first inning, he's missed with 2 straight. Goldstein has driven in runs in each of his first 3 games since joining Brewster. 4 runs driven in total. Out of Florida Atlantic, 2-0 is lined foul right back to the net. Count 2-1.
And the clouds are coming overhead, swaying back and forth. It almost is like the sun is coming out and then being covered by the clouds, and then coming out and then being covered by the clouds.
A little bit of a windy day here, moving the cloud cover over us and back and forth. Lots of blue sky, though. 2 balls and a strike on Goldstein. Curveball is chopped slowly up the first baseline and foul.
Kind of reminds me, I know you're a Star Wars fan, of when you get the shots of the Star Destroyers coming over and all of a sudden the land is covered in shade.
Oh, of course. It's classic filmography, cinematography, what have you.
That's when you knew something bad was about to happen.
Have you been thinking about Star Wars a lot?
No, just that's what it reminded me of.
2 balls and a strike. Foul tipped off the glove of Fernando Gonzalez. And the count remains 2-2 on Goldstein. We'll be joined by our producer, Zack Clapp, at the start of the top of the 3rd inning. Get Zack on the air for the first time this summer and allow him to tell you about what he does for our broadcast. For now, he's just smiling at us talking about Star Wars. 2-2. Curveball in there. Strike 3 called over the inside corner. Dowd spotted that one. Picks up his 3rd straight strikeout. This one starts the 2nd. 1 away. First one he's had looking. And it brings up Parks Harbor. Harbor, a right-hand hitter out of Georgia. When he steps into the batter's box, he'll greet his college teammate. Looks back to Fernando Gonzalez, the Red Sox catcher. Gives him a smile. Now peers out to the left-handed Drew Dowd. Infield plays him fairly straight up. Cole Carrig, the second baseman, playing up the middle. First one to Harbor. And he chops it to 3rd. It bounces off the 3rd base bag straight up into the air. Heading down the left field line. Heading to 2nd is Harbor. Woody Hadine's throw is in time. They got him. Well, after 6 straight losses, the Carams are bouncing for the Red Sox early in this game. Because Parks Harbor just bounced one off the 3rd base bag. The shortstop for the Red Sox, Woody Hadine, tracked it down the left field line into a slide. And Harbor, trying to get an extra base out of it, is thrown out at 2nd. That's the 2nd out of the inning with the bases clear.
We knew Woody Hadine was special when his first day of infield, he came in here and made a jump throw from deep in the gap, and what an impressive play there, taking away extra bases.
Red Sox setting a tone early in this game. At least it feels like it. Here's Davis Diaz, right-hand hitter, and he chops one up the 3rd base line. This time it's foul. A first inning run for the Red Sox on Braden Montgomery's RBI hit. Could have had more if not for the line drive double play. But still, that early run feeling very important for a Whitey team that hadn't led in 48 innings. No balls and a strike to Diaz. Second baseman swings and misses. The count 0-2, a .213 hitter. Diaz comes from Vanderbilt. Small guy, but he's got a little bit of power. He's got 3 home runs this year. The last one coming on July the 27th in a home game against the Wareham Gatemen. He's behind in the count 0-2 with the bases empty, 2 out. Here it comes. Taken just off the plate, a fastball. Tried to dot the outside corner, but Dowd missed a hair outside. Diaz only had 2 home runs for Vanderbilt this year. In 188 at-bats, he's got 3 in 80 at-bats this summer with the Wood Bats. Infield plays him straight up, the 1-2 count. A fastball again misses outside. Crackling away from Diaz, and the count runs even, 2-2, 1-0 Red Sox, top half of the 2nd with 2 out, bases empty. if Diaz can find his way aboard, a left-hand hitter, Grayson Tatro, to follow. 1 foot in front of the other on the mound for Drew Doughty. Gets his sign, the 2-2. Curveball in there, strike 3 called right on the outside edge. Drew Doughty in command through 2 frames. Just one Brewster Whitecap has reached. He's struck out 4, and some defense helps him out here in the top half of the second. On to the bottom half we go. The Red Sox lead the Whitecaps 1-0.
If you live here, fun is your thing. If you live here, tough is your thing. Smart is your thing. Caring is your thing. If you live in Massachusetts, community is your thing. Since 1972, the Massachusetts State Lottery has provided over $25 billion to help cities and towns with the things they need most. If you live here, giving is your thing.
Bottom half of the second, the Red Sox lead this game over the Brewster Whitecaps 1-0. They go to bat here at Red Wilson Field looking for more. They'll do so against a new arm, Colton Sunloff, who hadn't started a game all summer. I guess just being the opener today, he went the first inning, gave up a run on a hit, helped out by a line drive double play to get out of that jam. Braxton Pearson, the right-hander out of TCU, makes his 13th appearance on the mound for the Whitecaps. A 2.81 ERA across 16 innings of work. He's walked just 3 and struck out 20. He's twice faced the Red Sox and hasn't given up a run in the 2 outings against this YD team. He gets Caden Connor, Homer Bush, and Johnny Long. And Caden Connor will try to start off his birthday with a bang. He stands in the left-hand batter's box. First pitch to him, a fastball for a called strike. Caden turns 22 today. Cal State Fullerton Titan will look to improve upon a .263 average across his 41 games played. One of 4 Red Sox position players who have lasted on this roster all summer. All 4 in the lineup today. 0-1 is off the fist, softly hit towards second on 2 hops towards Diaz. He picks it up, throws to first in plenty of time to get Caden Connor. And an 0-for-1 start to his birthday. He set aside 1 away here in the second. Red Sox leading 1-0, and Homer Bush will try to get a rally going with 1 away.
And you look at this lineup today, Sam, and I think we both saw it and thought, this looks like a lineup that could be used in the playoffs. Brewster feels the same way. I think both teams have kind of stacked the deck here today, trying to get the division victory.
Bush had been leading off, playing in the 6th spot in the lineup today. A .284 hitter, right-hand hitter. First pitch, and Pearson dots the inside corner with a slider. No balls and a strike.
And I think putting Homer in the 6th position gives you a much more dynamic lineup up and down.
Feels like you have a chance to cause havoc in the back third of this lineup if Bush can reach, given his speed. 0-1. Squares to bunt, pushes it in front of the plate, out to get it. Byrne picks it up and throws just in time to get Bush. A close play, but Homer is beaten by about a half step.
Yeah, really, really close. That ball took a wicked hop on the catcher, Curtis Byrne. He went to pick it up, and the ball spun towards the foul line, and he almost missed it. 2 quick outs here by Pearson.
Didn't look like he got a particularly strong throw off. Maybe didn't get a great handle on that baseball, but just enough on the throw to get perhaps the fastest base runner on Cape Cod. 2 out, nobody on. Here's Johnny Long. And the right-hand hitter, first pitch to him, a slider that hits the outside corner, says John Pizzala, a called strike. Long comes in hitting .208, had his 5th home run of the year the last time the Red Sox played here against Hyannis 2 days ago. Playing first base today, leads the team with those 5 home runs. 0-1. Another slider. This one misses down and outside. Braden Montgomery's first inning infield double, giving the Red Sox an early start today. Team that's lost 6 in a row, but a win today means a division title. Something that felt like a given a little over a week ago. 1-1. Fastball in for a called strike. The Whitecaps got hot at the perfect time. With the Red Sox falling in 6 straight ball games, the Whitecaps haven't lost in that span. They've had a tie, but they've won 5 times and have made up almost all the ground. They tied the Red Sox with their win last night. 1-2 to Long. Swinging a foul tip held by Curtis Byrne. Long strikes out. First strikeout of the day in relief for the right-hander Braxton Pearson. He works a 1-2-3 inning out of the bullpen, and the Red Sox will hold their 1-0 lead as we head to the top of the 3rd. We'll be right back.
Well, hello there from Captain Parker's Pub over in West Yarmouth on Route 28. The entire crew from Captain Parker's wants to give a big salute to Cape Cod baseball, especially the young players that have dedicated so much time and effort to America's pastime. So join us for lunch or dinner or just a bowl of our world-famous clam chowder. Captain Parker's. Easy to find, but awfully hard to leave.
Top half of the 3rd here at Red Wilson Field. A nice crowd has come to cheer the Red Sox in hopes that they can win a division tonight with a win over the Whitecaps. They lead 1-0, and as Drew Dowd faces 8-9-1 in the Brewster lineup, Grayson Tatro, Ryan Lasco, Carson DiMartini, we are welcomed in the broadcast booth. Well, he didn't get here. He's always been here, but he joins us on a microphone for the first time this season, our producer, Zack Clapp. Zack, thanks for joining us on the broadcast.
Well, I thank you. Appreciate it. I've been getting to hear you guys do these great broadcasts. It's nice to be able to jump on with you for a little bit.
Drew Dowd works to Grayson Tatro, left-hand hitter, left-hand pitcher. First pitch, he squares to bunt and takes a strike. So, Zack, you've been behind the scenes for us this summer, you and our other producer, Danny, who produces for us on the road, but some of your equipment has benefited us here in these home games, and you have done a really great job of making sure this broadcast improves each and every day as Dowd deals a 1-0. And a fastball misses away, 2 balls and no strikes. How did you come into this job? How did you approach it? and how have you kind of worked to improve every day?
Well, first of all, thank you. I appreciate you saying those kind words, and I don't think that I could do it without you guys and Danny and everyone else on our team. I think we have a great team, first of all.
2 balls and no strikes. Swing and a ground ball right side of the infield. Cole Carrig plays the short hop and throws to Johnny Long for the first out. As Tatro grounds to second, 1 out. Red Sox leading 1-0 here, top half of the third.
But yeah, so I mean, it's we've had to kind of piece a few things together. Obviously, this is a broadcast that we have to. We are volunteers. We're interns, right? So we've got to bring in some equipment sometimes, do whatever we can. But I went to the local Cape Cod Community College, got involved with them, got involved with WKKL and the radio station, and actually worked with some alumni who got me the position over here. Luckily enough to get to do this summer.
First pitch to Ryan Lasko, right-hand hitter, a curveball for a called strike.
So, Zach, I know you've added a new web camera. You've been gracious enough to bring in your board. If you had to look ahead, what other things would you like maybe in the coming years to improve on the broadcast?
As the 0-1 is down at the feet of Lasko.
Well, I think, and certainly if you've been tuning into the YouTube broadcast, you've seen some polls that I may have put out there for people. I would love to get another camera angle. I think that's been one of the things that I've been kind of harping on. I know it's kind of a tough thing to do, though.
1-1. Outside, fastball, 2-1.
So we got to work with what we got right now. We got a nice little security cam view. We've had even some former star collegiate athletes commenting on social media about our camera and work and all that kind of stuff. But I would love to get another camera angle. And then, we continue to make the audio as good as possible at all times.
2-1. Fastball in for a called strike. The count levels on Ryan Lasko, the center fielder. Nobody out, or 1 out rather, nobody on here in the top of the third. Red Sox leading 1-0. So, Zach, your path to sports media was kind of maybe not the same as us, particularly. The 2-2 misses high a fastball. You're a little older than us. This is not necessarily as much of a thing that you've had circled for as long as maybe us, Carlo and I, wanting to work in sports media for, enough time that we went to college for it. How did you find your way to this position?
Well, I hate to put it all on one thing, but, COVID can sometimes change people's perspectives. And
3-2 is a fastball that just misses inside. John Patala says no on that one off the inside corner. A 1-out walk to Ryan Lasko. Here's the leadoff hitter, Carson DiMartini.
So I had actually been still am a personal trainer, had been for about 7 years before COVID hit, and then that kind of changes your plans when your gym starts getting shut down and things like that. So I've always been obsessed with sports. I've actually done a podcast myself, the Clapp podcast, all about New England sports for the last 3 years. So I've been obsessed with it, and this seemed like a good avenue to kind of put all of my energy into.
DiMartini, left-hand hitter. They'll check on the runner at first before this at-bat gets going.
Where can I find the Clapp podcast, and how often is it released?
Well, that's great that you asked. It's a great question. I appreciate that, Carlo. No, I do it 2 times a week. We actually play it on 90.7 WKKL. It's a radio show first, then it comes out at a podcast Wednesdays and Fridays from 12 to 2.
They'll check on Lasko at first again diving headfirst safely. Ryan Lasko has 13 stolen bases this summer.
And Zach, you've watched a lot of YD Red Sox baseball this summer. Red Sox trying to figure out who has been your favorite players to watch this summer.
Wow, that's a good one as well. It's certainly been a lot easier to watch the YD Red Sox than the Boston Red Sox. I got to say that just to start all of this off.
First pitch, curveball in for a called strike on the outside edge. No balls and a strike to Carson DiMartini, who flew out to left to start the game.
I mean, I'd be crazy if I didn't say somebody like Johnny Long leading the team in home runs. I've gotten to see some major bombs from him at this home field. I'm usually only here for the home games, so I get to see that. I know he's had some on the road as well, but I would say Johnny is probably up there for favorite performances so far this summer.
Again, they'll check on Lasko. Almost threw it away. Johnny Long having to leave his position to snag that one with the tip of his glove. The infield shifts right on the left-hand hitter.
Yeah, he can also play defense. You saw it right there. It's great
there you
job
go.
by him. So I know him. I mean, all the greats. Cole Carrig is another good one there. Luke Schliger, who, we unfortunately are not getting to see anymore at this point, but he was a lot of fun seeing him play all over the field. I love that. So
0-1, curveball, swing and a miss. Big cut by DiMartini. Comes up empty. The count No balls, 2 strikes to him with 1 out. Runner on first. Red Sox leading 1-0 here in the top of the third. We're joined by Zack Clapp, our wonderful producer. So Luke and Johnny and Cole, your top 3, you think?
Yeah, I would say that's all really offensive-minded, right? I guess, I have liked the Birdman's, tossing style or his mound presence.
0-2 curve off the plate.
Though I haven't gotten to see him as much at the home games or anything like that. But Kavanaugh, he's got the cool name and he's got the interesting throwing style. That was also another one of my favorites.
Also, perhaps the best nickname on the team, Birdman, the whole bird theme that our media team has really run with. 1 ball, 2 strikes on DeMartini, the shortstop. And they'll check on Lasco again. He's back in on his feet.
Now, Zach, this isn't your first time producing for the, well, it is your first time producing for the Whitey Red Sox. Is this all what you kind of expected coming in?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a lot of fun. I've worked also with the Barnstable High School, one of the local high schools, doing a little bit of play-by-play, a little bit of producing.
1-2, fastball misses well high, and the count evens on DeMartini. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
So I actually got to do that leading into this season. Right before that, the high school season happened. So I got to kind of test some things out that I was going to end up using for this broadcast as well. Some of the graphics that we've been able to use and things like that. So that's been good. And I think it made it more of a seamless transition from one position to the next. And I think it's helped out so far. I know it's a team effort, but I think there's been a lot of good that's come from it.
The 2-2's fouled off. A fastball back to the netting. The count remains 2-2 on DeMartini.
I mean, you've done so much. I remember the first day we got here, Sam, we spent, 12 hours up in this room?
It felt like it. It was probably closer to 4 or 5, but just working with the equipment, figuring out exactly how we were going to get a broadcast going this summer. And really, it was your troubleshooting on that first day that helped out immensely. Of course, Danny and you as well, working as such a great production team, have really gotten us to where we have been for most of the summer. They'll check on Lasco again, back on his feet before a 2-2 pitch to DeMartini.
Yeah, we've put a lot of long days in here, and I just hope that the amount of effort that we've put in on the broadcast, the whole team, really shows in what we've been able to put out there. Like I said, couldn't have done it without Danny as well. But yeah, a lot of long hours, putting a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into these broadcasts, and I hope you guys are enjoying it out there.
2-2. Line the other way, past Bovian in a left center field for a hit. Up to second and stopping there is Lasco as Caden Connor plays it in towards third. It's a base hit for Carson DeMartini, and Brewster threatens with 1 out here in the third. A 1-0 game, Red Sox leading. Nick LaRusso, right-hand hitter, who had a single his first time up, will hit with 2 on and 1 out.
That is a dangerous hitter at the plate. We talked about it off the top, but first team all Big Ten, a guy who played every day in the infield with Maryland, and he's got some pop in his bat. Of his first 9 hits, 3 of them have gone for extra bases.
Already has 3 doubles in just 6 games. Hit 15 home runs this year as a senior for Maryland. A close stance, his front foot in front of his back foot in the right-hand batter's box. A two-tone bat, a black barrel that he rests above his shoulders, and a pickoff try to second, close play, not in time. Lasco gets back with a head-first dive. Cole Carrick, the second baseman, making a quick tag. Drew Dowd almost picked off the runner there.
Now, Zach, is the career aspirations to be more the production side, do the podcasting, or still working to see which one you like more?
I'm really just trying to be a Zack of all trades, if I'm being honest, and would love to be able to do a little bit of anything that I can. If I can do, whether it's producing, play-by-play, editing, whatever it is, I'd love to do it.
First pitch, LaRusso chops it foul, a curveball up the third baseline. The count, 0-1 to him.
I hope you haven't been putting any notes down from us.
Well, no, but that brings me to a question for you guys, if I can, for a second. Have you guys been enjoying the broadcast here? I know you've had broadcast experience in others, obviously with school and things like that. I know we have our nice little cushy booth up here. Have you guys, has it been as fun as it has been for me, for you guys as well?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, what's better than Cape Cod baseball? This is paradise on earth for a baseball fan and for someone who wants to call games for a living. No balls and a strike. Curveball in the dirt. Nice block, Fernando Gonzalez. The count 1-1.
Yeah, I mean, I've loved every moment being up here. I think what makes this so special for us is we work with such a great team of people here at YD, and I couldn't be more thankful for the other interns and volunteers and people I get to work with on a day in and day out basis. It makes this so much more fun, even though it is already a ton of fun.
Just a really a true team environment here as a media crew. We've grown, I feel like, very close with each other, and we all work so well together. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 2 runners on. Dowd sets and fires. And a fastball on the outside corner. Close pitch, and Dowd gets the strike call. 1-2 to Nick LaRusso. LaRusso out of Littleton, Colorado. Stands 6'2" in the right-hand batter's box.
He's not little.
He is not. About 215 pounds as well. A former Villanova Wildcat before transferring to College Park. Lasko dancing off the bag. Another pickoff try. This time they got him. Rick Emerson with the call. Lasko dancing off the second base bag. Cole Carrig there behind him and tags him out. Dowd and Lasko may be exchanging some words, but some smiles between them. As Lasko heads to the Brewster dugout, that changes the complexion of the inning before a 1-2 pitch to Nick LaRusso. Now it's a runner on first, 2 outs. The Red Sox leading by a run here in the top of the third.
Zach, what'd you see there?
I mean, got him leading. That's you can't keep jumping back and forth like that. Obviously, they were trying to make that pickoff move happen, and it worked out for him. You love to see it.
Carrig was creeping in behind him with the right-hand pole hitter here. 1-2 runner goes. Pitch misses up and away. Throw down by Gonzalez is not handled by Carrig. Probably wasn't going to get Carson DiMartini anyways, as it was a little to the shortstop side. The 16th stolen base for Carson DiMartini on the summer season. He had 2 yesterday in Orleans. So runner in scoring position and a 2-2 count on Nick LaRusso, who had a single his first time up here with 2 out. Red Sox lead 1-0. Perhaps a pivotal spot early in this game. The Red Sox nursing their first lead since July 25th in the midst of their 6-game losing streak. And Brewster a chance to tie with a base hit here with 2 out. Drew Dowd's 2-2. Curve chopped foul. We'll do it again.
And I'd like to point out that, while this has all been going on, while we've been talking to Zach, you might be sitting at home wondering, the scoreboard's still moving. Runners are still getting on board. Well, because that's Zach's also running the scoreboard as he's being interviewed by us while the game is going on.
A true consummate professional. Even when he's in the spotlight, he's still doing his job.
A Zach of all trades.
A Zack of all trades. That's a good line. Hold on to that one.
Hope that one sticks.
2-2, runner on second, 2 out. Another pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him. The changeup has LaRusso fishing for it. The 5th strikeout through 3 frames for the Stanford left-hander Drew Dowd. The Red Sox need to win today, and Drew Dowd is putting them on his back. After the top of the third, it's 1-0 YD here at Red Wilson Field. Thank you so much for joining us on the broadcast, Zach.
No, I appreciate it having me on, and I just am happy that they didn't give up any runs while I was on there and I was in a bad luck or anything like that.
All right, that's Zack Clapp. You can follow him at the Clapp Attack.
The Clapp Trap.
The Clapp Trap on pretty much every social platform. Follow him there. He's a good guy. We'll take a quick break before we start the bottom of the third.
MP Sports Cards is proud to sponsor the Kids Baseball Clinics. If you're a sports card collector, be sure to stop by and check out the latest releases, graded cards, supplies, and more. A local favorite for hobby enthusiasts across Massachusetts and, of course, your Cape Cod Baseball League. Stop in our store and mention code Red Sox to get 1 free pack of 2022 Topps Baseball Update with any purchase. Some exclusions apply. Visit us at 71 Main Street in Carver, Mass. or online at mpsportscards.com. That's mpsportscards.com.
Here in the top of the third at Red Wilson Field in the final regular season home game for the Red Sox, and what would be the regular season finale if not for yesterday's rainout in Chatham. If you're wondering what happens with that game, well, there's an off day built into the schedule before the playoffs start. Would be tomorrow. Instead, the Red Sox will spend it at Veterans Field, a 7 o'clock start in what is now the final regular season game for YD. But today, this one's probably a little bit more pivotal because the Red Sox, on their 6-game losing streak, need a win to clinch the division. If they lose this game, Brewster wins the division. At time makes things more complicated, makes tomorrow's game in Chatham matter. But right now, it's been a pretty good start for the Red Sox. They lead 1-0 here, bottom half of the third. Getting started, Braxton Pearson back to the mound for his second inning of relief, and Mike Bovey leads off against him. First pitch, and the left-hand hitter takes a called strike. Colton Sunloff went the first inning. Sunloff making his first start of the season, really just an opener start, meaning that effectively a relief outing to begin the game. 0-1. Back foot slider. Bovey checked his swing, did not swing, says Rick Emerson down the third baseline. The count 1-1 from the TCU right-hander Braxton Pearson to the Red Sox third baseman out of Nebraska, Omaha, Mike Bovey, in the 8th spot in the lineup today. Bovey, a .276 hitter. And the 1-1. This is down and outside. The fastball, and the count is 2-1 to Bovey, followed by Fernando Gonzalez, and then back to the top of the Red Sox order with Woody Haydeen. Here in this bottom of the third, Red Sox trying to improve upon a 1-0 lead against these Whitecaps. 2-1. A little slider that cuts in for a called strike. Count 2-2 on Bovey. Mike took an offer against Hyannis 2 nights ago when the Red Sox last played. That snapped a 4-game hitting streak for Mike. 2-2. In the dirt, the count runs even to full here on Mike Bovey. The count 3-2 to Mike Bovey.
Last time YD got the leadoff hitter aboard, they scored a run. See if they can do it again.
Would love to put a crooked number up on this board and really set the tone here in the bottom of the third. 3-2. In there for a called strike 3. A backdoor cutter from Braxton Pearson. Bovey looks back at John Patala, asks for clarification before heading to the Red Sox dugout. The first out and the second strikeout for Braxton Pearson. It begins the third inning. Brings up Fernando Gonzalez. Gonzalez, the catcher for the Red Sox, has taken well to the starting catcher duties after Luke Schliger left the Red Sox. He's gotten his average up to around 200. First pitch, right-hand hitter, he nubs it foul up the first baseline. 197 hitter. He has hits in each of his last 4 starts. So things have picked up a little bit for Fernando on the offensive side. Of course, maybe the best defensive catcher on Cape Cod by various metrics. 0-1. Swing and a miss. Slider got him out in front. The count 0-2 on Fernando. He's the best at stealing strikes, at framing. He's one of the better throwing catchers on Cape Cod. He's caught 8 base stealers. Has also picked runners off on base from behind home plate. No balls and a strike. And it's a broken bat foul up the first baseline. Count actually remains 0-2 on Gonzalez. He'll have to get new lumber.
Hey, Fernando, you mentioned him picking it up. 5 hits in his last 11 at-bats, Sam. In his first 55 at-bats, he had 8 hits. So he is really starting to find his stride in the batter's box. And like we saw in Falmouth, when he had a big hit to score a run late in that game, if you can get production out of your 9-hole hitter, this YD Red Sox offense that has been pretty steady despite the 6 losses in a row could become more of a threat.
He's an important piece, no doubt. If he can get that bat really going, guy who's really built well and is very strong, but hasn't tapped into that power. He's just got 1 extra base hit this summer. If he can find some barrels, this Red Sox lineup gets a lot longer. 0-2. Taken down and outside, a slider, and the count is 1-2 on Gonzalez. Georgia Bulldog had 4 home runs and 8 doubles this year. was a .258 hitter at school. So when you account for the difference in competition and the difference from metal bats to wood bats, you assume that that's probably right around where he would be. 1-2 is chopped foul off his foot. He'll have to walk this one off.
Ouch. That's never a good feeling. And Fernando, who's one of the tougher players on this team, Sam, he took a ball to the throat when we were at Falmouth a couple days ago and caught the rest of the inning.
A warm-up pitch that got him on the part between his face mask and his chest protector. Fernando's a little slow to get back in the batter's box. Really caught a piece of that lower leg on that foul ball. Right-hand hitter against the right-hander out of TCU, Braxton Pearson. Fernando back in the batter's box on the right side of home plate. Pearson a closed set, sets the belt out of the stretch, the 1-2. Is fouled back to the net. Fernando got a better swing at that one. Count remains 1-2 to him. Red Sox leading 1-0 here, bottom half of the third. The penultimate game of the season for the Red Sox, the ultimate game of the season for a Brewster Whitecaps team that was not rained out yesterday. The Red Sox were, hence why they have the makeup tomorrow. One ball, two strikes. Foul back. Gonzalez working hard here. Was behind 0-2. It's now 1-2. And a couple of firm foul balls off his two-toned bat. Top of the order to follow, and Woody Haedy in here with one out. Bases empty, bottom third. Infield and outfield straight up. Slightly open stance for Gonzalez. Red padding on that front foot. 1-2 swing and a miss. He got him. So Gonzalez worked hard to get back into that at bat, but he goes down swinging. Third straight strikeout in second of this inning for Braxton Pearson, who after Colton Sunloff was not too effective in the first inning against this Red Sox lineup. He has quieted the fort down a tad. Back-to-back strikeouts, and here's Woody Haedy in a hit by pitch in his first time. He came around to score the game's lone run. Switch hitter batting left. First pitch put on the ground, right back to the mound on one hop, fielded by Pearson. An underhand flip to first with Haedy sprinting down the line. It beats him for the third out, and it ends the bottom of the third inning here at Red Wilson Field. Red Sox go in order against Pearson for the second straight inning, and after three here, Drew Dowd back to the mound. The Red Sox leading the Whitecaps 1-0 on the Red Sox Baseball Network.
Hey, Sox fans, have you thought about buying or selling a home? Emily Szymanski of the Salty Dog Group is your pet-friendly neighborhood realtor. As part of the team at Keller Williams Realty of Cape Cod and the Islands, Emily is your go-to resource for home buying and selling. Call Emily Szymanski at 508-221-0196 or visit the Salty Dog Group.kw.com. Carlo Jimenez with you here as we welcome you into the fourth inning. The Whitey Red Sox holding a 1-0 lead over the Brewster Whitecaps in the final regular season matchup between these two teams. This was slated to be the final regular season game of the summer, but YD getting rained out yesterday has to make up their Chatham contest tomorrow and lose the off day before the playoffs. Both these teams slated in the playoff picture. The question is, who will have the number 1 seed? Who will be the number 2 seed? That is decided today, and right now YD with a 1-0 lead. Left-handed arm of Drew Dowd digs in to face Cameron Fisher, Curtis Byrne, and Dylan Goldstein to begin the top of the 4th. Lefty on lefty, Fisher struck out swinging his first time up. Dowd with his heel on the first base side of the rubber. Here's the first pitch. Fastball and a half swing, and he went around. And the count, no balls and 1 strike. Fisher in his bright green batting gloves, a nod to UNC Charlotte, where he plays for the 49ers. Unable to hold up the count, no balls and 1 strike. 3 hits in his last 3 games, but Fisher does not have a hit against these YD Red Sox. 0-1, he shows bunt, pulls it back, takes a fastball away. And the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Partly cloudy overhead. The flag is wisping out and left as the trees sway back and forth in center. Shadows starting to creep up the third baseline. Gonzalez sets up inside, 1-1. Fastball bounces in the dirt. It's been a lot of fastballs here from Dowd, and the count, 2 balls and a strike. Somebody's up and warming in that Brewster pen. It is a bullpen day for them. And bullpen catcher Nolan just popped out of his squat, but not to catch a pitcher, to catch YD superfan Brady. Heading into 6th grade. The 2-1, swing and a miss. Fisher tardy on a fastball, and the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes with nobody out and nobody on. 1-0 YD leads Brewster. Infield swung over to the right. Haydeen, the shortstop, to the right of second. Carrig, the second baseman, playing second for the first time since July 21st. It's August 2nd. He's in the gap, and Johnny Long is the first baseman up the line. Downs, 2-2. Swinging a little looper up the first base line, hooking foul. Fisher lofts one over the head of Johnny Long, but can't find foul grass. And the count holds at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Fisher, who spent last summer with the Forest City Owls and was the Coastal Plains League batting title winner, hitting .384. He spent 3 games with the Forest City Owls this summer and obliterated any type of record. He hit .538 in his short stint, Sam, and I think he found more of his skill level here on Cape Cod.
Small sample size theater, of course, but Brewster did well to pick him up.
Wearing a green glove on that left hand. The 2-2, and he takes a fastball high. Full count here to Cameron Fisher. 3 balls and 2 strikes. 1-0 YD leads this game for the Eastern Division title. We're in the top of the 4th. Nobody on, nobody out. Fisher, a kinesiology major. Closed off stance, right foot in front of the left. Downs, 3-2. And he swings and misses at a changeup. Ball in the dirt, up the third base line. Gonzalez, the catcher, scoops it up, throws to first in time. Strikeout number 6 for Drew Dowd as he begins the 4th inning with a K.
First time Dowd's recorded an out in the 4th inning of his start, and I've been impressed with him, Carlo. He's had great command working on all 3 of his pitches, the curveball especially, in addition to the fastball and the changeup you just saw there. He was able to work it nicely in the dirt on a full count pitch and got Cam Fisher chasing. This is the Drew Dowd we believed we would get, a guy who was so important for that Stanford team in their postseason run.
His first pitch to the right-handed bat of Curtis Byrne is a swing and a miss. On the fastball, no balls and 1 strike. 1-0 YD leads. 1 out, base is empty. Byrne kicks his bat twice. A blue dipped barrel. The 0-1. And he takes a changeup low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Curtis, who has started every single game at catcher when YD and Brewster have played. For the YD fans, there is another catcher on this Brewster roster, but unfortunately, Chase Atkinson has never caught against the YD Red Sox. Game number 6 of the summer between these two. The flag stone still and left. Here's the 1-1. Big curveball, big swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Sam, that curveball, the bread and butter of Dowd's outing so far today.
It's really sharp today, and it's not just moving up and down. It's got some horizontal break to it as well. It's a 2-plane break for him. He's able to, right there, start it kind of up in the strike zone down the middle. It ends back towards that back foot of Curtis Byrne.
1-2. Swing and a miss. Byrne chases the curve again. Gonzalez scoops it up the first base line and just tags the catcher, then drops the baseball. And the Brewster dugout says, Curtis, run back to first. And Gonzalez lobs one to first, in which home plate umpire John Petula gives us maybe a sarcastic, loud out call.
A rather emphatic, he's out, just in case there was any doubt in anyone's mind here at the ballpark.
That's the 7th strikeout, by the way, for Drew Dowd, and he's struck out 3 in a row.
And there's no work in that Red Sox bullpen behind him. This is big money stuff for Drew Dowd, showing up for the Red Sox when they really needed him.
Faces the lefty Dylan Goldstein, who takes that curveball for a strike at the knees. No balls and 1 strike. Infield shifts to the right for Goldstein. Haydeen, the shortstop, playing to the right of second base. Cole Carrick has his toes on the right field grass. Johnny Long is behind the bag. 0-1. Curveball misses low and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 outs, base is empty. 1-0 YD leads Brewster.
And Carlo, one of the first things we found out about Drew Dowd was his competitiveness, about how he loves to be out there and compete. And you think he's rising to the occasion here in this start.
1-1. Fastball in the dirt. 2 balls and a strike.
You almost wonder if he was bored in those last few starts, because now with the Red Sox having their backs against the wall and turning to the young left-hander, this is the best he's looked.
I'll never forget, we're at Harwich, Dowd's first start. Batting practice is just getting going. We're an hour and a half, maybe an hour and 45 from game time. Here's Dowd's 2-1. And a fastball in at the hands of Goldstein. He pops it up down the third base line and it drifts foul. A young fan in a blue Nike shirt goes sliding face first for it. Then 4 or 5 kids dogpile. Somebody's going to come up with a baseball. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Goldstein. But Dowd was in the dugout, uniform on, Gatorade in hand, ready to go as if first pitch was in 2 minutes. But it was an hour and 45 away. Here's the 2-2. Fastball, Atkinson slaps it the other way. Going back to left fielder, Caden Connor looking over his shoulder. He leaps, and it goes over his head and rolls to the wall. Goldstein rounds first. He's into second standing with a 2-out double. And all of a sudden, Brewster has the tying run in scoring position. Here's Parks Harbor.
Nice piece of hitting, just a fastball up and away. It's a location that you're told by coaches that you might want to stay away from, because if a good hitter gets their barrel to something up and away, they can drive it to the opposite field. And Dylan Goldstein, a good job on that one to get the barrel to it. And it had some nice carry, and Caden Connor almost comes up with an outstanding catch here on his birthday.
So Goldstein leads at second. Here's Parks Harbor, who singled his last time up but then was thrown out, trying to advance to second base on a nice play by Haydeen. Right-handed batter whose jersey is all dirtied up after that slide. 2 outs, runner at second, 1-0 YD, top 4. First pitch home. Fastball in the dirt. And the count 1 ball and no strikes. Only 1 stolen base for Dylan at second. He doesn't have fantastic speed. Brandon Gonzalez is one of the best. Healthy lead for Goldstein. 3 steps towards third. After his double with 2 outs. Here's the 1-0 to Parks Harbor. Bat bouncing off his right shoulder. And he swings and shatters his bat as he rolls it right to the shortstop, Haydeen. To his left, gloves it, throws to first in time for the out, and that does it. A 2-out double by Dylan Goldstein. And we are through the bottom of the 4th with 1 left on and no runs come across. 1-0 YD here at Red Wilson. We welcome you back to Whitey Red Sox Baseball. Red Shirt Fridays is a national program created to acknowledge, honor, and support our troops and first responders who put themselves in harm's way to defend our freedom. In support of this program, the Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox and all Cape League teams will be wearing a specially designed red jersey every single Friday. This special weekly celebration of Red Shirt Fridays is sponsored by Zephyr Hats, the Massachusetts State Lottery, and OT Sports. Support our troops and first responders and join us by wearing red every single Friday. Carlo Jimenez alongside my good friend Sam Lebowitz, our producer Zack Clapp, welcoming you into the bottom of the fourth inning here at Red Wilson Field. And Sam, a new pitcher on the mound, a man who has had a Brewster uniform for about 24 hours. It's Nick Pereiro.
Yeah, Pereiro making his first appearance on the summer for these Brewster Whitecaps. And among the contingent that the Brewster management raided from the New England Collegiate Baseball League, Pereiro comes from the Ocean State Waves of the NECBL, along with his teammate Joe Sinella, both Seton Hall pitchers, both Ocean State Waves pitchers, and they join the Whitecaps. Pereiro, the first to appear in a game among those two.
So here is Cole Carrig, switch hitter, batting from the left side. 2-3-4 due up as we begin the bottom of the fourth. YD with a 1-0 lead. The winner today wins the Eastern Division. Will it be the Red Sox or the Whitecaps? We'll find out after this. First pitch, Carrig, the lefty, swings and fouls it off down the left field line. If YD is able to secure a victory, not only would it end their 6-game losing streak, the Eastern Division Championship would be their first since 2018. For Brewster, a regular season Eastern Division Championship would be back-to-back years for the first time ever in their team's history. 1-0 to Carrig. And he takes a changeup above the zone. 2 balls, 1 ball, and 1 strike. Only run for YD coming in the bottom of the first as they face the Monroe, New Jersey native. Sets the belt, bright blue glove on his left hand. 1-1. Carrig bounces one to first. On the backhand, the first baseman Parks Harbor gloves. Throws to the covering pitcher, Pereiro. Did he get there in time? He did. Beats out Cole Carrig, one of the best base stealers on Cape with fantastic speed. And there's one away on the 3-1 in your scorebook.
Pereiro had been starting with Ocean State. 8 of his 10 appearances for them were to start games. He threw 43 2/3 innings over there, an ERA in the upper 4s. You figure that if he's pitching well, a guy that Jamie Shevchik can get some length out of, already his third arm deep into this bullpen here in just the 4th inning.
Here's the switch hitter batting from the left side, Brady Montgomery, who swings at the first pitch, puts it on 2 hops, backhanded again. Parks Harbor is busy at first. He underhand flips to Pereiro, who's getting good cardio in, and there's 2 away. Back-to-back groundouts to first, and nice plays on hot shots to Parks Harbor, who's got one of the best names in baseball on Cape Cod.
Even if Harbor and Pereiro might not know each other particularly well, a lifetime of PFPs showing off there in these first 2 plays.
2 outs, bases empty, 1-0 YD, bottom 4. Here's the left-handed bat of Hayden Schott. Pereiro deals and Schott taps 1 foul. 2 balls and 1 strike. The flag whipping in left, back and forth. Trees swaying side to side. No clouds overhead. We did have partly cloudy skies before this game, but they have gone away. 0-1. Schott swings and misses at a changeup that drops off the table. No balls and 2 strikes. Hayden, who had a red arm sleeve 2 days ago, going with the black arm sleeve today. High pulled socks and the compact closed off stance for the Columbia Lion. 0-2, 2 outs, bases empty, the pitch. And he takes a changeup in the dirt. Check on to first, no shot. Rick Emerson says no. Brewster, since the All-Star break, 5-1-1. YD, 0-6-0. But tied for first in the Eastern Division. On the line here today. The 1-2. Changeup misses off the outer edge. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
These changeups from Pereiro have a nice little fade to them away, but similar to how the Red Sox were just spitting on those pitches to Colton Sunloff in the first inning, they're seeing it all the way in. against him, especially Hayden Schott in this at-bat.
2-2 to Schott. And he swings and misses as he chases a fastball. 3 up, 3 down. Pereiro faces the minimum in his Brewster debut and strikes out the final batter he sees. We head to the 5th inning, 1-0. The Whitey Red Sox hanging on by a toothpick here at Red Wilson Field.
Giardino's Family Restaurant has been locally owned and operated since 1970. Originally opened by Ed Giardino Sr. as the Tasty Tower, today his sons are still committed to providing the same quality meals and service that their customers have come to know and love. So if you're looking for a great night out, come on in to Giardino's Family Restaurant in West Yarmouth on Cape Cod. Giardino's, a restaurant for family, by family.
We welcome you back to Red Wilson Field, where we begin the top of the 5th inning. The Whitey Red Sox hanging on to a 1-0 lead over the Brewster Whitecaps with the Eastern Division regular season championship and the #1 seed in the East on the line here today. Brewster has 4 hits, 1 extra base hit, but no runs have come across Sam, and Drew Dowd begins his 5th inning of work. Didn't think we'd see Dowd go this deep into this game, but he has been fantastic.
He has truly been excellent. Everything's been working. He's been around the plate all day. No, just 1 walk, and the hits he's given up have not been exceptionally hit hard. The strikeout numbers have been great as well. He's got 7 of them through 4 innings, and the curveball really showing off today.
First pitch, he deals home, and it's a changeup that catches the outside part of the plate. No balls and 1 strike to Davis Diaz. Grayson Tetro on deck. Ryan Lasco in the hole. 7-8-9 for the Brewster Whitecaps. Trying to win their 5th in a row for the first time since 2019. 0-1. Big curveball. Diaz gets on top of it, pops it over the head of the pitcher, Drew Dowd. Cole Carrick racing in from second, tries to snare it with the bare hand, but cannot scoop it up cleanly. And on to first is Davis Diaz, a leadoff single for him. And Brewster has the tying run aboard. The go-ahead comes to the plate. It's the lefty, Grayson Tetro. Drew Dowd, that was his 66th pitch. Nobody is up and warming in that Whitey Red Sox bullpen as of now. But Whitey with just a 1-0 lead, runner at first and nobody out for Brewster. And Tetro, a left-handed bat, bright blue barrel in his hand that matches the bright blue Brewster across his chest. First pitch. Left-handed pitcher of Dowd deals a changeup that misses low and away. 1 ball and no strikes.
Feels like Dowd has been really dominating, but that's already the 5th hit he's given up in 5 innings. But, of course, there was the Parks Harbor play where he was thrown out trying to advance to second, which aided him as well. Only 1 of those hits for extra bases, and that was a 2-out double. The pickoff, too, as well helped.
1-0 is a curveball that finds the strike zone. On the outside part of the plate, mid-thigh height, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike. Fans standing and sitting about down the third base line in their lawn chairs and down the first base line. The shade is at a premium here today, and wherever there is some, you can find fans packed in. Dowd throws to first. Back on a head-first slide is Davis Diaz, who represents that tying run. Diaz with 2 stolen bases this summer. The flag in left is screaming out to left field, blowing awfully hard as the trees dance across the outfield. Diaz a big lead at first. Dowd's 1-0. Swing and a miss. That was the 1-1 in the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes. To Tetro. Drew Dowd called into pitch today. Wasn't sure how far he would go, but he has been nothing short of excellent today. 7 strikeouts, no runs on the board, and he's walked just 1. The walk's key, Sam, because that has been an issue for YD this losing streak. Dowd sets at the belt. There's 1-2. Fastball off the outer edge. 2 balls, 2 strikes. With a runner at first, nobody out. 1-0 YD, top 5. Somebody is getting warm in that pen. Can you tell Sam from here?
Looks like Aaron Calhoun's going.
You got great eyesight. I don't know how you see who is down there. I see someone throwing. I can't even see a number.
17.
Thank you.
Don't even need the binoculars for that one.
2-2. Curveball in the dirt. Good block by Gonzalez as he shoves it up the first baseline. Staying at first is Davis Diaz after his infield single to begin the inning. And it's 3 balls and 2 strikes to Grayson Tatro. What's the secret? You eat a lot of carrots?
Natural, I guess. I haven't ever had to go to an eye doctor.
I'm supposed to wear glasses when I read small print, but you know how that goes. Diaz at first, 3-2. Big curveball, big swing and a miss, but he foul tips it, and it hits the dirt and goes into the glove of Gonzalez. Home plate umpire John Patula says a foul tip. Fernando Gonzalez, not too much of an argument, but Scott Pickler wants an explanation. He comes out of the dugout. And you got to imagine, Sam, with the way Dowd is pitching, that was his 70th pitch. He wants to squeeze every pitch he can out of his Stanford lefty and wants to see if maybe he can get a strikeout call here.
You assume that this is the last inning for Drew Dowd, and you'd hope, as the umpires are going to put their heads together on this, and the Red Sox will hope that they change the call to benefit YD. Dowd has been fairly in command, a little bit of traffic. He's allowed someone to reach in every inning, but he's been pretty much in control and been around the strike zone all day. But you do wonder, because he's been a guy that's been on some limits through his first 3 starts, how much deeper he can go, as they will call it a foul ball. And Aaron Calhoun is a guy that can provide a little bit of length. He's been pretty good for the Red Sox out of the bullpen as of late. Makes sense that he's the first guy up.
The umpires put their heads together. They decide foul ball. 3 balls and 2 strikes here to Grayson Tatro. In the final regular season game of the summer for Brewster. YD has a makeup game tomorrow with Chatham, but this one is what matters. Either team wins, they secure first place in the Eastern Division and the #1 overall seed in the playoffs. 3-2 to the plate. Swinging a foul tap. That definitely was off the bat as it rolls towards the on-deck circle of Brewster, where Ryan Lasko in his navy blue, white, and brown uniform, brown from the dirt after sliding around, able to pick it up.
Is officially post-deadline, Carlo. It's 6:01.
There you go. No more trades. Throw back to first. Back on his feet is Diaz.
Well, I'm sure a lot of last-second trades will start to trickle in post-deadline.
Is there a trade you're hoping to see pop up on your phone?
I'm just curious to see what comes in. There's some big names that we expected to see moved, like Wilson Contreras, who haven't yet been traded.
3-2. Curveball. Another foul ball. Grayson Tatro is fighting him off from Drew Dowd, and he might have Dowd out of this game with the way he is going after these pitches. This will be the 8th pitch of the at-bat with a runner at first and nobody out. 1-0. YD leads Brewster, but the Whitecaps have the tying run at first. Tatro doesn't have a home run. And the left-handed batter digs in. Does have 18 RBIs. 3-2 again. Swinging a ground ball down the first base line and foul. And we will await the 9th pitch of the at-bat. As a youngster in a white shirt goes chasing after the ball down the first base line. Whitecaps looking for their 5th straight win, would be their longest winning streak since they won 6 in a row to begin 2019. It is the regular season finale for Brewster. YD has to play one more tomorrow, 7 o'clock at Veterans Field against the Anglers from Chatham. Diaz at first, Oven McGlove on his left hand. 3-2. Curveball misses away, and Grayson Tatro sees 9 pitches and works a walk. What an at-bat from the 8-hole hitter to put the tying run at second, the go-ahead run at first, and here's Ryan Lasko.
That is an outstanding at-bat from Grayson Tatro, who fouled off pretty much the entire kitchen sink out of Drew Dowd. He threw everything he had and then just missed a little bit with that curveball, and a good take for ball 4. Dowd fought hard in that at-bat, but Tatro fought a little harder.
The defense behind Dowd has been good, Sam. We'll see if they can possibly turn two and change the tides in this inning. For the first time today, Brewster has the first 2 runners of an inning aboard for the right-handed bat of Ryan Lasko, who took a walk his last time up. Dowd takes 2 peeks at second towards Diaz, kicks and deals. Lasko shows bunt, pulls it back, and a changeup skips in the dirt. 1 ball and no strikes. Fernando Gonzalez, the catcher, wants time. Jamie Shevchuk down that third base line. He's won 2 championships in his short time here with Brewster, and a Whitecat team that, as they're playing now, looking like they could be on their way to a third, hitting over 305 in their last 5 games. They're averaging 7 runs a game. Dowd has kept them off the board. We're in the top of the 5th, 2 on, nobody out, 1-0 YD. Dowd turns and spins and fakes a throw to second. Back on a head-first slide is Diaz. Ryan Lasko, who's at the plate, was caught off of second back in the 3rd. That was a big play because there was runners on second and first with just 1 out. Now runners at second and first with nobody out. Can the bottom of the lineup produce for the Whitecaps from Brewster? 1-0. Lasko shows bunt, pops up his bunt down the third base line. Gonzalez dives. He can't make the catch. Fernando trying to make a superhuman play, and he gets a big round of applause for his defensive efforts. Almost came up with that ball, but it popped out of his glove. Would have been a huge out. Instead, it's 1 ball and 1 strike to Lasko with 2 on and nobody out.
Fernando hitting the ground hard with an open palm after he realized he couldn't squeeze that one in the leather. Would have been an outstanding catch in a summer worth of outstanding plays for the Georgia catcher, who has really proven his defensive aptitude for these YD Red Sox. That would have just been icing for him.
Infield is in at the corners. Bovee and Johnny Long with their toes on the infield grass. And a fake back to first, and back on his feet is Davis Diaz, who singled on the infield. Tatro reached first on a 9-pitch at-bat in which he worked a walk and a full count. Ryan Lasko trying to extend his 5-game hitting streak. Rests the bat on his right shoulder. He stands straight up, his right foot on the white chalk in the back of the batter's box. Here in the top of the 5th. 1-0 YD, the 1-1. A bunt, popped up again in front of home plate. Scooped up on the bare hand. Dowd goes to first in time, just gets Ryan Lasko. On to third goes Davis Diaz, and on to second is Grayson Tatro. Lasko does his job, a dangerous pop-up bunt that the pitcher Dowd was able to gather and throw to first for out number 1, but both runners advance.
Almost disaster for the Red Sox. Had a chance to maybe turn double play if that ball hung up just a little bit more so that one of the YD defensive players could make a catch on a ball in the air, but it turned out to be a pretty perfect bunt off of Lasko's bat because it deadened just enough to drop between Gonzalez, Long, and Dowd, and Cole Carrick a little late covering. That almost turned into no outs for the Red Sox.
Well, the table is set for Brewster. 2 in scoring position. The go-ahead runs in a 1-0 YD lead with 1 out. First pitch to lefty DiMartini. He taps one foul towards the empty on-deck circle of the YD Red Sox. And the count, no balls and 1 strike. Biggest opportunity of the night for Brewster. They have a runner 90 feet away in Diaz. He's the tying run. At second is Grayson Tatro. Carson DiMartini singled and stole a base his last time up. A bright blue bat for DiMartini, the 0-1. And he looks at a fastball away. Snap back throw to third, not in time. Barely back on a head first slide. Diaz is there safely. And the count, no balls and 2 strikes. That last pitch was a strike. They caught the outside part of the plate. And Jamie Shevchuk down the third base line, checking with home plate umpire John Patala, who signals, yep, it's 0-2. In at the corners is Bovey and Long. Shortstop Haydeen playing back in double play depth. Carrig is in the gap at second base. Outfield straight away on a windy and cloudless Tuesday afternoon in South Yarmouth. 0-2. Fastball misses off the outer edge. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Carson DiMartini. If Dowd can get through DiMartini, that would be big because then he faces LaRusso, Fisher, and Byrne. Those 3 batters have come up 6 times. They have struck out 5 times. LaRusso had a single in the first. Other than that, Fisher and Byrne have struck out twice. LaRusso struck out in his last at-bat. 1 out. Tying run at third. Go ahead at second. 1-2. Fastball on the outer edge. Strike 3 call. DiMartini frozen in the batter's box. And that's strikeout number 8 for Drew Dowd. A big one to put 2 outs on the board with 2 on in the top of the 5th.
Dowd's been hitting his spots and painting corners all night long, and that was a great example. Ahead 1-2, DiMartini probably thought he was going to get another curveball. Instead, Dowd found that outside corner and froze him on the fastball. An outstanding pitch.
The intensity rises. Sweaty palms here at Red Wilson Field. At third, Davis Diaz the tying run. At second, Grayson Tatro the go-ahead. Top 5, 1-0 YD. Here's the right-handed bat of Nick LaRusso. First pitch home. LaRusso looks at a changeup low. The count 1 ball and no strikes. And Sam maybe the hottest bat in this lineup. LaRusso, before his 0 for 5 yesterday against Orleans, was hitting .450. He was 9 for 20 to begin his Cape League summer.
Already has a base hit today. Went the other way with it. Same hit here. Would have a chance to score a pair of runs. Might test Braden Montgomery's arm.
Montgomery in right. The best arm in the outfield. Average arms in center and left. 1-0. Curveball. Swinging a high looper into right center field. It drops and splits the gap. Rolls all the way to the wall. Diaz scores. Tatro rounds third. He's in on his feet. Throw in from the center fielder Bush. Cut off at short. On to second is Nick LaRusso, who continues his hot hitting. It's a 2-out, 2 RBI double. And Brewster is on the high side 2-1 in the top of the 5th.
Came just a pitch away from being able to get out of that first and second nobody out jam, but LaRusso's just been too hot. Curveball caught a little too much of the zone, and he went right with it, going to right center field. Not even Homer Bush, with all his speed, could track that ball down.
Cameron Fisher, the left-handed batter who has struck out twice, now digs in as Brewster has taken the lead on a big hit from Nick LaRusso, and time is called, and that's going to do it for Drew Dowd. It looks like Scott Pickler is not going to let his pitcher from Stanford go one more batter. And Sam, maybe with the playoffs on his mind, Scott Pickler is thinking more about the future than the present. And rightfully so.
Probably, but this is a bit of a questionable call for me. You could go either way, but a left-on-left matchup, he struck out Fisher 2 times. I think maybe he's got one more batter in him. But we don't know what kind of pitch count or innings limit he's up against. And Pickler might just figure that you make the move, maybe you have Dowd a little more next time.
85 pitches. Drew Dowd goes through 4 2/3. He allows just 2 runs on 6 hits, and a Brewster offense that had been scorching hot. Dowd goes 1 pitch away from not allowing a run. We head to the bottom. We will continue things in the top of the 5th and step aside. When we come back, it's Aaron Calhoun atop the mound, who will try to get the final out of this 5th inning. We welcome you back to Whitey Red Sox baseball. Here in the top of the 5th inning, the Brewster Whitecaps have jumped aboard with a 2-1 lead thanks to a 2 RBI double by Nick LaRusso, who continues to be the hottest bat on Cape in the last week plus. He stands at second with 2 outs as we press resume. New pitcher on the mound, it's Aaron Calhoun from Oklahoma, and he takes on the left-handed bat of Cameron Fisher. Fisher, a bright green glove on his left hand, but no gloves on the right hand. The green glove, a nod to UNC Charlotte, where he plays for the 49ers. Calhoun looks at second, kicks and deals, and a fastball and a swing and a miss. In the count, no balls and 1 strike. Sam, Aaron Calhoun has been one of the more steadier and consistent arms in the pen all summer for these Red Sox.
Since he came, he's been pretty solid. The last 2 outings in particular have been excellent. Even the last 3, third to last one, he faltered a little bit late, but the last 2, both scoreless, both more than 2 innings for Calhoun.
He looks at second, stares in, working from the first base side of the rubber. The 0-1. Fastball misses low, below the knees. And the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. Shadows creeping onto lightless Red Wilson, but no clouds in the sky, which usually saves us about sometimes 30 more minutes of baseball.
Red Sox will want to get all 9 in today. Want to earn, both sides are going to want to earn whatever outcome.
Brewster and YD neither have lights. 1-1. Fisher swings and uppercuts one. Third base side, racing in the third baseman Bovee. He calls off the catcher Fernando Gonzalez and can't make the catch. And the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Sam, looked like Fernando might have had a chance at that ball, but Bovee called him off. Fernando's seceding, and Mike could not get to it.
It's a tougher angle for Fernando, but Bovee can't call him off if he doesn't get there, is the problem. That's a ball that once it goes up and it stays in the field of play, it's got to get caught.
2 guys who have been with this YD team since day 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Runner at second is LaRusso after his 2 RBI double to put Brewster up 2-1 in the top of the 5th. Calhoun looking for that final out to send us into the bottom of the frame. Infield swung over to the right. Shortstop Haydeen to the right is second. 1-2. Fastball in the dirt. Gonzalez slides to his right. Chops the baseball down. Pops up to his feet and stares daringly towards second. Nick LaRusso, not that brave. He won't run on Fernando Gonzalez. Probably the smart move.
Probably a good call there with Fernando's arm as good as it is.
LaRusso doesn't have any stolen bases this summer, and he didn't steal any at Maryland. I think it's fair to assume he's not a fast runner. 2 outs, runner at second, 2-2. Changeup just misses low. John Patula says that was not there, and it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. Full count to Fisher. Curtis Byrne is on deck. He's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts.
Close pitch, almost had knees. Creates a huge pitch here because you don't want to let this inning get any deeper. Byrne, as hot as he is a really dangerous hitter. The Red Sox are already trailing now. You want to hold it here.
Fisher resting the bat on his left shoulder. LaRusso with a 2-step lead at second. 3-2. Fastball misses low and in. And on to first goes Cameron Fisher with the walk. Aaron Calhoun cannot retire Fisher. And the inning continues to roll along. Here's Curtis Byrne with runners at first and second. And 2 gone. And Sam, now you start to think about Dowd getting pulled. He had struck out Fisher and Byrne both times they had come to the plate. And Aaron Calhoun unable to retire Fisher.
And he had a couple of gutsy takes in that at-bat, but not very much, not really a competitive 3-2 offering there. And it creates a very tricky spot here with Byrne.
Byrne has 10 RBIs in his last 5 games. The right-handed batter looks on with a runner in scoring position. The pitch, changeup, curls into the zone. No balls and 1 strike. LaRusso at second, Fisher at first. 2-1, Brewster leads. The winner of today's game is the number 1 seed in the playoffs in the Eastern Division. Calhoun stands atop the mound, jersey flapping in the wind. He looks back at second, spins and throws to second, and diving across second, Cole Carey makes an athletic play to keep the ball in the infield and saves 90 feet. We've seen Carrick make a couple of athletic plays. The last time he played second, back on July 19th against Harwich. Sure, you remember it, Sam. The leaping snag to save a pair of runs late in that game.
Absolutely.
He's as athletic as they come, and that's why he can play all 9. 0-1. Fastball off the outer edge. 1 ball, 1 strike to Curtis Byrne. The flag stoic and left. The trees barely breezing back and forth. A good crowd on hand here at Red Wilson Field. Great fans down the third base line and the first base line. Brewster not that far from YD. About a 15-minute drive.
Yeah, they're about.
I'd say 13 on the dot. 1-1. Change up low, gets through the wickets of Gonzalez. Running off the bag at first is Fisher, and Fernando didn't throw that way. Cameron was caught off. Looked like he might have been a dead duck, but he got back in time. And the count, 2 balls and a strike with 2 outs and 2 on.
I think Fernando had a play at first on Fisher. If he had just looked that direction, the ball got past Fernando through the wickets, but by the time he realized it was too late for the runner on second, Nick LaRusso, to try to advance, but Fisher saw it all the way and had danced off the bag.
Byrne waves the bat at the belt, looking to win his 2nd straight Cape League championship. He was the everyday catcher last year for the Brewster Whitecaps, who won. 2-1. Fastball, Byrne taps it off the end of the bat towards the dugout of the Whitecaps, led by Jamie Shevchak. In the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. Can firmly agree, Sam, the deuces are wild. 2-1. Brewster leads YD with the Eastern Division regular season championship on the line. We didn't think that was possible after the All-Star break, but YD has lost 6 in a row, and Brewster has won 5 of their 7, tying 1 and losing the other. Calhoun exhales with a 2-2 count. He deals. Fastball well away. 3 balls and 2 strikes, back-to-back full counts, and Eric Calhoun, who was fantastic in his last 2 outings, on the verge of walking back-to-back batters to begin this one.
Calhoun's walked 5 batters in his 5 appearances. Had 2 in his last outing against Orleans, and that's a season high. Still not a big walk total guy, but occasionally he'll get a little bit wild.
Russo at second, Fisher at first. Aaron stares in. Another 3-2 offering. Swing and a miss, high fastball, and chasing is Curtis Byrne. A walk and a strikeout. Calhoun leaves 2 stranded, but the Brewster Whitecaps push across 2 runs against Drew Dowd. 2 hits, 2 come across, and the Whitecaps are on top, 2-1. We're halfway home at Red Wilson Field. Bottom of the 5th, coming your way. We welcome you back to the bottom. We welcome you to the bottom of the 5th inning here on the Cape Cod Broadcast Network. Carlo Jimenez alongside my good friend Sam Lebowitz. Caden Connor, Homer Bush Jr., Johnny Long due up, the 5, 6, 7 hitters in the lineup for the YD Red Sox as they take on the right arm of Nick Pereiro making his Brewster debut. Pereiro is terrific in the 4th inning, facing the minimum. He'll look to repeat that performance in the 5th. Caden Connor celebrating his 22nd birthday today. Looking for a birthday hit. He grounded out to second his last time up. The Eastern Division on the line here at Red Wilson Field. The winner has the number 1 seed in the playoffs. First pitch to the lefty. Caden foul tips one into the glove of Curtis Byrne, and the count, no balls and 1 strike. 2-1, Brewster leads YD. The Whitecaps getting 2 runs in the top of the 5th to take the 1-run advantage. A 1, Connor taps one foul down the first baseline, and the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Sam, I find it kind of fitting that Nick Pereiro goes from the Ocean State Waves to the Brewster Whitecaps.
Keep it on theme, that ocean theme, Carlo.
Brewster with probably one of the best mascots on Cape when you think about what they're able to do with their jerseys and color combinations. It's teal and dark navy blue. Here's the 0-2. Connor nubs one foul, 3rd baseline. And then you have the Brewster across the chest that goes gradient from dark blue to that light teal.
I'm a big fan of teal as a uniform color, part of a team's color set anyways, and it's gorgeous. They know what to do with it. I like the new hats they've been rocking with the H on it, or the W rather.
0-2, Caden smacks one into left. The left fielder, Goldstein, waits for it. He takes 3 steps back, and on the back pedal, makes the catch. There's 1 away.
Caden making a little bit of a bid for a birthday bomb. Hasn't hit one yet this summer, but has shown some pretty good power in batting practice as of late.
Since the Whitey Red Sox, Sam, got that infield double from Brady Montgomery to score a run, they've been sat down 11 in a row. The offense has gone quiet. Now trailing 2-1, they need to find something to resurge it. Righty Homer Bush Jr. looks at a first pitch slider that catches the outside part of the plate. No balls and 1 strike. Partly cloudy overhead, the flag gusting in left, and the shadows creeping onto the infield. 0-1. Homer looks at a fastball that skips back to the chain link backstop. Back beyond the scoreboard, Sam, you see there's a game going on. They're playing field hockey out there. You a field hockey fanatic?
Not particularly, but I appreciate the effort that goes into that sport. Rough and tumble sport.
1-1. Fastball misses away. 2 balls and a strike. I know they have field hockey at Syracuse. Is that right?
They do. They do.
Oh.
And it's an okay program.
All right.
Sometimes more competitive than others.
Wynn picks up out to left towards the field hockey. 2-1. Bush taps one off the end of the bat and behind John Petula in the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
The cream of the crop of our women's sports at Syracuse is our hockey team. And the lacrosse, of course, the lacrosse. But right now, the hockey team, they just won CHA championship, their conference championship this past spring.
Wow. 2-2. Bush looks at a slider away. 3 balls and 2 strikes. What I always found interesting about the big difference between field hockey and hockey is in field hockey, you can't use the other side of your stick. So you have to only use the inside side of your stick.
You can't use the outside?
No.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Only one side is flat. 3-2. Bush takes ball 4. Misses away. A free transit for Homer Bush Jr. as he walks down to first. Great speed on the base pass for YD. And with 1 out, the tying run is at first. Here's the go-ahead. It's Johnny Long.
This is potentially a key sequence now that the Red Sox have just started because you have the team's home run leader at home plate and perhaps their fastest base runner on the bases.
And you wonder if Jamie Shevchak is going to talk to his pitcher, Pereiro, about that because you have Bush at first, Johnny Long, who hit a ball 107 miles an hour. Off that scoreboard to the left of the scoreboard that faces up, the one that faces away down the left field line. 357 feet his last time up. I was talking to Johnny at Chatham, and he was saying, I was telling him, Johnny, you got 5 home runs. You're 1 out of the top 3. And he was like, you know, I told you guys I wanted to get to 5. Now I'm at 5, and I really want 6. The line continues to move for Johnny Law.
Well, he's done damage in this ballpark. 3 of the 5 home runs he's hit have come here.
Throw back to first. Homer Bush Jr. back on ahead for a slide. And Johnny has been a very interesting batter this summer. He's hitting .208, but there's some advanced analytics on Cape that we'll try to track. Another throw to first. Homer Bush back on ahead first dive. Expected average, calculating how hard he hits the baseball. And his average, another throw to first. Homer Bush Jr. back on ahead first slide.
Barely even got off the bag there.
His expecting batting average is above 350.
He's top 15 in hard hit rate and expected batting average.
We've seen no pitches home and 4 throws to first. Homer Bush Jr. has beat him out every time. As he continues to accumulate dirt on the front of that white uni. We'll see if we get a pitch home. It is. Fastball in the dirt. Skips away from the catcher, Byrne. And Homer Bush Jr. is on to second. All that throwing to first and the first pitch home. Maybe Pereiro not paying enough attention on his pitch home as he spiked it. And Homer Bush Jr. is in scoring position. Tying run now at second after the wild pitch. 2-1 Brewster leads YD. In the bottom of the 5th with the Eastern Division on the line here at Red Wilson. 1-0. Long takes a fastball that catches the outside part of the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike.
And credit to Homer Bush there because that was a short, wild pitch, literally as short as it can get. It rested there at home plate, and Curtis Burns just had no idea where it was. As soon as it touched dirt, Homer was off.
1-1. Long takes a slider that drifts and paints the outer edge. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And don't think Homer is done. We've seen him steal third numerous times this summer. Bush with 8 stolen bases in his 33 games with the Red Sox of Yarmouth Dennis. 1-2 to Johnny. And he swings and misses as he chases a slider and strikes out. Second out of the frame for Nick Pereiro, who will try to leave Homer Bush at second. In stands Mike Bovey, with Bush with fantastic speed in scoring position. YD Red Sox have hit well in scoring position this summer. 247. And we'll see if Mike Bovey, the left-handed batter who struck out his last time up, can bring Bush home. 2-1 Brewster leads. 2 outs, bottom 5. Bovey open stance, the pitch. And the lefty takes a changeup high. 1 ball and no strikes. Whitecaps looking to win back-to-back Eastern Division regular season titles for the first time ever in the history of the Brewster Whitecaps. That goes back to 1948. 1-0. Bovey gets on top of one and fouls it back to the screen.
Got one to hit there. Fastball out over the plate. Mike looking back at John Pitala saying, hey, was that going to be a strike? I think he knows it would have been because it was a pitch to hit for Mike. Guy who's had a good summer in terms of getting his base hits, but has dealt with some issues on the injury side and hasn't yet tapped into that excellent power he has.
1-1, he looks at a fastball high. 2 balls and a strike with 2 outs, and Bush at second. Second base and third base are in the sun, but sandwiched in between shadows that continue to lengthen down that third base line. Mike Bovey looks towards the defense, playing him straight up. Pereiro looks at second, looks in. 2-1. Bovey watches a changeup catch the outer edge. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Mike was rung up last time on a ball away that he thought did not find the strike zone. He's been one of the best at seeing the strike zone. Took 2 walks against Hyannis 3 days ago. Holds the bat above that left shoulder. 2-2. And he swings and taps one off the end of the bat foul down the third base line. Fans walking about in the outfield pretty much from foul pole to foul pole. You can find people in their lawn chair watching as the Eastern Division Championship is up for grabs here at Red Wilson Field. Pereiro does not like the first 2 signs. He accepts the third. Bush at second. 2-2. Bovey bounces one on 3 hops towards second base. Diaz charging. The second baseman gloves letters high. Lobs to first, and that does it. A walk, a runner left in scoring position, but no runs come across, and YD trails by a singleton through 5. To the top of the 6th we go. We'll see if Brewster can add more to their advantage as they try to secure their 5th straight win for the first time since 2019.
Hey fans, Devinheim is the official website development company of the Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox. They designed and developed our website and help us with marketing to bring more fans to the games and more visitors to our website. Devinheim helps organizations generate more leads and maximize their marketing budget. Check out devinheim.com to learn more and be sure to like Devinheim on Facebook. That's DEVADIGM.com. Devinheim.com.
Fans, it's time for our 6th inning trivia contest brought to you by Coxswain Media and Pixie 103, Cape Cod's Rock. We'll give you today's trivia question. Answer by the question by going to the next, before the next home game by going to whiteyredsox.com/trivia. Answer correctly, and you will be eligible to win an official Whitey Red Sox game jersey signed by the 2022 Whitey Red Sox team. Here's today's question. How many former Whitey Red Sox players have won World Series championship rings? Don't forget to submit your answer at whiteyredsox.com/trivia. Good luck. Sam, do you have a guess on today's trivia?
Frankly, no, because it's a long history of Whitey Red Sox baseball.
I'm going to go over 20. I bet it's more than 20.
Probably. Feels like it.
6th inning coming your way here on the Cape Cod Broadcast Network. Carlo Jimenez alongside our producer, Zack Clapp, my good friend Sam Lebowitz. The Brewster Whitecaps and the Whitey Red Sox battling out, and it's Brewster with a 2-1 lead as the lefty Dylan Goldstein stands in. Open stance as he bounces in the batter's box. Calhoun kicks and deals, and a fastball misses away. In the count, 1 ball and no strikes. Goldstein, Parks Harbor, Davis Diaz all due up. That's 5, 6, 7 in the lineup for Brewster. With a win today, can secure the Eastern Division regular season championship. 1-0. Slider catches the inside part of the plate quickly. 1 ball, 1 strike to Dylan Goldstein, who had a double off the fence and left back in the 4th with 2 outs, but was left stranded. 1-1-2. Goldstein swings and fouls one off the track man behind home plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
It's like a target to hit.
I always feel like I have to explain that TrackMan is not a person, because if somebody who doesn't know who TrackMan is, it sounds like he hit a person, like a TrackMan, but it's just a device that measures literally everything that happens on the field.
No, it's not a sprinter. It's not a track man.
1-2, swing and a miss. Fastball, Dylan Goldstein goes fishing and strikes out for the 2nd time. There's the 2nd strikeout for Aaron Calhoun.
There is a TrackMan man, like today, sitting right below it with the computer in his lap is our scouting and analytics intern, Patrick Bauer, who does a fantastic job for this Red Sox team, but he is not the TrackMan. He is the TrackMan man. He interprets the data and plugs it in.
Who's on first? Here's the ready Parks Harbor with 1 out and the base is empty. The pitch. Slider catches the zone. No balls and 1 strike. The TrackMan man. Patrick, who, by the way, never has his shoes tied. I always ask him why he doesn't have them tied, and I finally got an answer, Sam. 0-1. Fastball misses well away. Gonzalez has to leap to his right to take it.
We got us on the edge of our sheet. Why does he not tie his shoes?
So he doesn't tie his shoes, so he doesn't have to run. So if Pick ever says, hey, go run and do this, his shoes are untied.
It's a danger.
It is. But he says, why tie my shoes? 1-1. Swinging a sharply hit ground ball foul. 3rd base side by Harbor. And the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Why tie your shoes if you don't need to tie them?
So they feel tighter on your feet, maybe?
You know what? I asked Patrick the same thing. He says that's his. He feels he doesn't need to. 1-2. Fastball high. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out. Base is empty. 2-1. Brewster leads YD. We're in the top of the 6th. Parks Harbor, who singled but then was gunned down at 2nd base by Woody Haydeen on a beautiful play. Calhoun in the shadows. He kicks 2-2. Swing and a miss. Another fastball. Another swinging strike 3. That's 3 straight strikeouts for Aaron Calhoun after walking the first batter he faced, Cameron Fisher. Sam, he has settled in. 2 out, nobody on. Here's Davis Diaz.
He's absolutely settled in nicely after the leadoff walk and almost walked Curtis Byrne as well. Byrne went chasing on that strikeout pitch, but he's looked in command in this inning. The Red Sox in need of some good relief because that's been something that's plagued them all through this losing streak.
Opening offering to the ready, Diaz. He takes a slider that bends in the front door and says hello. The count, no balls and 1 strike.
Feels like the Red Sox bullpen has given up a lot of tack-on runs, that when they've trailed in games, the bullpen hasn't been able to keep it tight. It becomes incumbent on Calhoun to stop that.
0-1, fastball away. Aaron Calhoun can do something that Drew Dowd was not able to do when he started this game, and that's go 3 up, 3 down, and not allow a hit in a single frame. 1-1. Davis Diaz fouls one back to the screen. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bases empty. The Red Sox just 1 hit on the board, but they only trail by 1 run. 2-1, Brewster leads with the Eastern Division Championship on the line. Winner has the #1 seed in the playoffs. Calhoun peeks over the top of the glove. 1-2. Slider misses away. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, nobody on. Aaron Calhoun a strike away from striking out 4 in a row and moving us into the bottom of the 6th. Diaz levitates the bat over the right shoulder. 2-2. Fastball misses low. 3 balls and 2 strikes and a full count to Davis Diaz, who singled and scored back in the 5th. One of those 2 runs on the 2 RBI double by Nick LaRusso. Trees dancing back and forth in the straightaway center. The flag gusting to left. 3-2. Misses away. Slider can't find the zone, and a 2-out walk by Davis Diaz keeps this top of the 6th inning alive as it brings up Grayson Tatro. Brewster looking for some insurance with a 2-1 lead in the top of the 6th. As Tatro out of Abilene Christian, the exercise science major, digs in. You know, Sam, I once thought about majoring in exercise science. It is a ton of physics and a ton of biology.
Well, you like to exercise.
That's true. But I don't know how Grayson Tatro does exercise science. Runner is going. Davis runs on a first pitch changeup in the dirt and no throw by Gonzalez as he has to make sure that ball doesn't get by him. Davis Diaz has his 3rd stolen base this summer. He works into scoring position with 2 outs. 2-1, Brewster leads YD. And Tatro a chance for an RBI. He has 18 of those this summer, 2nd on the team.
Tatro's been with this team pretty much the whole summer. This is his 40th game here in game 44 for the Brewster Whitecaps. Has been on this team since the beginning. He was an opening day starter.
Blue barrel on his bat, 1-0. Change up in the dirt, skips away from Gonzalez as it rolls towards the on-deck circle of Brewster, and on to 3rd goes Davis Diaz. So Diaz goes to 1st on the walk, goes to 2nd on the stolen base, and moves up to 3rd on a wild pitch. The ball not put in play, but Brewster has a runner 90 feet away, leading 2-1 in the top of the 6th with 2 outs.
Cole Carey going over to the mound to give some words of encouragement to his teammate, who was in cruise control to start this frame. A couple of strikeouts, and now a runner 90 feet away.
And I don't think Aaron Calhoun can believe it. He has a look of awe on his face. He thought Pick would leave him in. He had struck out 3 of the 5 batters he had faced, walked the other 2 on full counts in. But Pick might be trying to save guys' arms for the playoffs. He has pulled Dowd and Calhoun at the first sign of any fatigue. And we're going to get a new pitcher. Here comes Luke Jewett from Westwood. So we'll step aside here on the Cape Cod Broadcast Network. It's 2-1. Brewster leads YD. Calhoun not happy. Pulled from this game with 2 outs and a runner at 3rd.
Hey fans, Devonheim is the official website development company
Take On Me by Aha plays over the loudspeaker here at Red Wilson Field as we bring you back to the top of the 6th inning with a new pitcher on the mound. Runner at third is Davis Diaz. It's 2-1. The Brewster Whitecaps lead the Whitey Red Sox, and Luke Jewett takes the ball from Aaron Calhoun, the right-handed pitcher, and the Whitey Red Sox All-Star out of UCLA. 2-0 pitch home, swing and a miss on a nasty curveball on the count. 2 balls and a strike to Grayson Tatro. Sam, we've seen it a couple of times this summer in which Scott Pickler has brought in pitchers in the middle of counts. And Jewett have to inherit a 2-0 count here, already behind. That's like starting a race 10 meters behind. 2-1. And he deals a fastball that catches the outer edge. And in 2 pitches, Jewett is back at the start line. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, runner at third. Brewster within a run. Brewster leading by a run, trying to add another. The Whitecaps win. It's their 5th in a row, their first 5-game winning streak since 2019, and they clinched the Eastern Division in back-to-back seasons. 2-2. Look out. Fastball comes inside, and backing up out of the way is Grayson Tatro. Not a very valiant effort, but he made somewhat of one, almost like he would be okay with taking that ball. Jewett atop the mound. He has been the best arm out of the pen all summer for these Red Sox. Working from the third base side of the rubber. 3-2. Swing and a miss. Chasing the curve. Down goes Tatro, and Jewett does his job. He starts behind 2-0, but it works a swinging strike 3 on a full count and leaves the runner stranded at third. Bottom of the 6th coming your way. It's 2-1. YD trailing the Brewster Whitecaps, looking to take back the lead when we return. We welcome you back to YD Red Sox baseball here in the Cape Cod Broadcast Network. Sam, it is a big day in the East. Couple of divisions, couple of playoff spots are up for grabs. What's going on around Cape Cod?
Well, Orleans needs to win to get in to the playoffs, and they're scoreless with the Wareham Gatemen over at Eldridge Park. They're on the top of the 2nd. Over there, just getting underway with the Orleans Firebirds hosting that ball game, their last game of the summer. If they win, Chatham, who's on the precipice, is out, and Chatham also scoreless. They're just getting underway over in Harwich, a 0-0 tie in the bottom of the 1st.
Right into bat, Fernando Gonzalez bounces the first pitch down the third base line. It gets by the third baseman, LaRusso, rolls into foul territory. Gonzalez is going to test the arm of the left fielder, Goldstein. His throw in is cut off, and Fernando with a head first slide is into second. A double to begin the bottom of the 6th. YD has the tying run in scoring position, down 2-1 to Brewster with nobody out, and the top of the lineup due up. Here's Woody Hayden.
Exactly what the doctor ordered for the Red Sox. So leadoff double, you get the top of the order to the plate with a guy in Woody Hayden who can handle the bat a little bit. He's capable of putting down a bunt if you need him to, but a switch hitter batting left. He can also roll one to the right side of the infield and advance Gonzalez that way. Also a guy who has shown a pretty good bat for the Red Sox in the early stages of his YD career, so you hope that he can come through with a base hit if he's asked to do just that. This is a huge spot in this game because the Red Sox would prefer not to let this game get any deeper without having the tying tally on the board at least.
just the second hit of the game for YD. The last one, a double in the first by Brady Montgomery to score their only run, and we might be getting a pitching change here with Nick Pereiro. That's going to do it for Pereiro. New arm is coming in. We'll get you the name and on all about him when we return. It is the bottom of the sixth with the tying run at second. 2-1. Brewster leads YD. We welcome you back to the bottom of the sixth inning, where the YD Red Sox have the tying run at second base with nobody out, trailing the Brewster Whitecaps by a score of 2-1. First place in the Eastern Division is on the line. The winner has the number one seed in the playoffs. Will it be the Whitecaps surging after the All-Star break, or can the YD Red Sox end their six-game losing streak? Right-handed bat of Woody Hayden looks towards the new pitcher, the lefty Joe Sinella, out of Seton Hall. First pitch, Hayden takes a fastball on the outside edge for a strike. No balls and one strike. Sinella, another Ocean State wave, was teammates with the last pitcher we saw, Nick Pereiro, in the NECBL.
And teammates at Seton Hall as well, following each other to Brewster.
He stares in, glove pinned against his right shoulder, looks at second towards Gonzalez, the tying run. 0-1. Hayden shows bunt, bunts one back to the pitcher. Charging it, Sinella scoops, pirouettes, throws to first, in time for the out. On to third goes Gonzalez. There's one away. The tying run is now 90 feet away. And here's Cole Carrick. A good bunt by Woody Hayden.
I think the safe play could be the smart play, given that they switched Hayden to the right side of the plate with the lefty on the mound. Takes that ground ball to second, not necessarily out of the equation, just makes it harder for Hayden to get something on the ground to advance the runner. So you get that bunt down. It's a little safer if you're trying to get Gonzalez to third with less than 2 outs.
Infield comes in. Gonzalez at third. That white jersey covered in dirt after sliding into second. He had a double to begin the frame. Bottom of the sixth, 2-1 Brewster with 1 out and a runner at third. First pitch, Ready, Carrick bounces one foul down the third base line. Flag blowing gently out to left. The tree swaying back and forth as they dance across the outfield. Infield pretty much covered in the shadows, and everybody on the infield has their toes on the infield grass. Carrick restraps the gloves. Socks not pulled up today. He's letting the pants go down to his ankles. Long blonde hair flows out of the back of his helmet. Gonzalez at third, 0-1. Look out, fastball misses inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Carrick go for 2 today. He struck out swinging back in the first and grounded out to third in the fourth. Red Sox trying to play spoiler, a Brewster team that has made a late surge, but can Whitey hang on to the East? 1-1. Carrick slaps one foul, first base side, curling away from the right fielder Tatro, and it lands to the right of that white painted line. 1 ball and 2 strikes with 1 out.
Sinella is not a big strikeout guy. Had 23 and 31 in a third innings this year for Seton Hall, and with Ocean State struck out fewer than 8 batters per 9.
Carrick just has to get one to the outfield deep enough for Gonzalez, who doesn't have great speed as a catcher. It would have to be a pretty well-hit ball. 1-2. Fastball misses up and away as it flies away from the catcher, Byrne. He has to jump up and snare it with a leather. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Partly cloudy skies overhead. The final regular season game for the Brewster Whitecaps. YD has to play a makeup game tomorrow at Chatham. Carrick with a red arm sleeve on that left arm stands tall in the box. 2-2. And he swings and rolls one foul past Scott Pickler, his coach, down that third base line. Count holds at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Carrick's been pretty good with runners in scoring position this summer, Sam, hitting around 400. Now, when you think of Cole Carrick, you just think of a guy who loves to compete, can play all 9 positions and play them well. Can he bring home the run? 2-2. And he swings and bounces one through the infield into left, a base hit. Gonzalez scores. Carrick on to first. After his RBI single, we're tied here at Red Wilson. It's 2-2 between Brewster and YD.
Just a huge hit off the bat of Cole Carrick. Not trying to do too much, just trying to sit back on Sinella, who doesn't throw very hard. Make sure you get the bat on the baseball and put it in play somewhere, and just let the ball do the work. With the infield pulled in, you hit it on the ground, you're going to find space.
Carrick, who's top 5 in stolen bases on Cape, now leads at first. At 2-2 count, he's the go-ahead run. And here's the Pac-12 Freshman of the Year. Throw back to first. Back on a head-first slide is Carrick. No tag applied by Parks Harbor. Brady Montgomery digs in, who doubled and scored a run back in the first. Switch hitter batting from the right side in his Cardinal Red Stanford shoes. The pitch. Fastball paints the outer edge. No balls and 1 strike. Sam, if you're Montgomery here, what is the approach? Are you trying to just move Carrick over with how low scoring this game is, or are you trying to put one over the fence?
I think Braden Montgomery's game plan in most of his at-bats is use his strength, hit something hard somewhere. If it leaves the ballpark, you take it.
0-1. And he looks at a changeup low. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Carrick at first. Oven mitt glove on that left hand. Right arm dangles by his side as he takes his lead. 2-2 the score, Brewster and YD. Red Sox jumped out to a 1-0 lead in the first. Brewster took the lead with a 2 RBI double in the 5th. We're in the bottom of the 6th, 1-1. Montgomery slices one foul down the right field line. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Braden. The last RBI hit from Montgomery was his 16th RBI. He's playing in his 17th game. Has a big dirt stain on the backside of his right leg after sliding into second back in that first inning. 1-2. Montgomery breaks his bat as he nubs one foul down the first base line, and some firewood here at Red Wilson. Braden will go get a new piece of lumber. You always wonder if that ever phases a guy, because baseball players are superstitious. They like their bats. You get used to them in batting practice, and now he's got to go grab somebody else's.
It's a good question, Carlo. I'm not so sure. I never really was accustomed to hitting with wood, so it's not ever anything that I ever experienced. But you'd figure that it's so random breaking bats that Sometimes you can break your bat if you get it off the barrel. It's just if it hits a weak point on the bat.
Carrick at first, 1-2. Montgomery looks at a fastball that misses away, and a yell out of the Brewster dugout. They thought that was on the strike zone. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, 1 on, 2-2 game.
I think it's the right call, just a little bit away.
The wind gusting out to left. Infield now completely covered in the shadows here at Red Wilson. YD has tied the game. Can they take back the lead? Carrick at first. He's running 2-2. Swing and a miss. Montgomery strikes out. Throw on to second. Not in time. Cole beat it out. And they called batter interference. Braden Montgomery stepped in front of the plate, and Cole Carrick is called out. And YD ends the bottom of the 6th. One of the assistant coaches, Cam, is talking to home plate umpire John Patella, who called interference. Carrick's 16th stolen base is taken away from him, and that does it for the bottom of the 6th. 1 run comes across on a RBI single from Carrick, but a controversial end of the bottom of the 6th. The plot thickens. We're tied, and Sam Lebowitz has you the rest of the way. It's 2-2. Brewster and YD with the Eastern Division on the line.
We start fresh in the top of the 7th. Red Sox got the tying run across in the bottom of the 6th. A little controversy after that run had scored. Cole Carrick trying to steal second. Had it safely, firmly in hand, but was called out thanks to batter interference when Braden Montgomery, striking out swinging, crossed over home plate. At least so said John Patala, the home plate umpire. So we start fresh in the 7th, top half. 9-1-2 against Luke Jewett, right on right. And the first pitch to Ryan Lasko. That beautiful slider from the UCLA right-hander swung on and missed for strike 1. Jewett came in with a runner on third, 2 out in relief of Aaron Calhoun in the top of the 6th. 0-1. Slider in the dirt, count 1-1. And a 2-0 count. Scott Pickler pulling his Oklahoma Sooner in the middle of an at-bat to Grayson Tatro. Tasked with a 2-0 count to work against. Jewett came back and struck out Tatro. 1-1 in the dirt. And the count 2-1. Sam Lebowitz alongside Carlo Jimenez in what will be the final regular season home game for the YD Red Sox. They play a makeup game tomorrow in Chatham, a game that might matter for the YD Red Sox, might not. Depends on how we finish here. If the score holds, it will matter. 2 balls and a strike to Lasko. A slider that drops in, and the count levels at 2-2.
And Sam, this feels like a playoff environment, probably the most intense game we've had this summer. And if this is what a YD Brewster series looks like, I want more of it.
2 balls, 2 strikes. These two teams might not be able to play. 2-2. Swing and a miss. He got him. Slider running down, and Lasko cut over top of it. Second strikeout on the second batter faced for Luke Jewett. It begins the 7th. 1 away, nobody out, nobody on. The 13th strikeout of the game for Red Sox pitching on their 3rd arm today. Drew Dowd went the first 4 2/3, struck out 7. Aaron Calhoun struck out 4 more. And Jewett his second. First one to the leadoff hitter Carson DiMartini is a called strike, a fastball on the outside corner. Infield swung around to the pull side in the horseshoe for the left-hand hitter DeMartini. The winner of this game wins the division. There's a virtual tie at top. Brewster needs a win to clinch it. 0-1. Swing and a miss. Slider running down off the outside corner. The count 0-2. That's because Brewster's done playing after today. They played yesterday, whereas YD was washed out. And they have the tiebreaker if they win today, meaning YD's result tomorrow, even if they pull even in the standings, won't matter. YD, on the other hand, wins outright with a win today. 0-2. In the dirt and taken on a check swing by DeMartini. Barely moved the bat off the shoulder. The count 1-2 on him. If there's a tie, that's when it gets interesting. And those points on the line tomorrow in Chatham in the makeup game do matter to YD. If they were to tie today, lose tomorrow, it's Brewster's division. A tie today, a tie or a win tomorrow, and it's YD's. 1 ball, 2 strike. Swing and a miss. He got him swinging on another off-speed pitch. DeMartini is struck out for the second time today in 4 trips. 3 straight Ks for Jewett out of the bullpen and 14 for YD pitching overall in this game. And it brings Nick LaRusso to the plate. LaRusso, a pair of hits today, including the biggest hit for the Brewster Whitecaps. The right-hand hitter punched a double to the opposite field as last time it scored both Brewster runs. 2-2 tie, 2 out, and nobody on base here in the top of the 7th. Jewett deals home. A first pitch slider that's in at the knees, a called strike. Jewett sporting a fresh cut today instead of the medium length brown locks out from underneath his white hat. It's a buzz cut. 0-2. The 0-1 is a fastball that misses down. And the count now 1-1 to the UCLA right-hander.
And strikeouts are nothing new to this Brewster lineup, Sam. Coming in, 3rd most strikeouts on Cape as a lineup.
1-1 is foul tipped off the helmet of Fernando Gonzalez. Looks back to the home plate umpire, John Patala, says, I'm all right. Count 1-2.
Brewster's averaging more than 9 strikeouts a game. Of course, YD has struck them out 14 times, so overdoing that number. But Brewster is susceptible to the strikeouts, and you think about a YD pitching staff that has groomed 2 strikeout guys.
Really the bread and butter of this staff for much of the season. 1-2 in the dirt, and a good hold on that slider. That levels the count 2-2, 2 out, and a 2-2 game here in the top half of the 7th. Deuces effectively are wild. Base is empty, though. LaRusso already has a pair of hits today, trying to keep the inning going for the middle of this Brewster lineup with Cam Fisher to follow. Jewett steps back, and the 2-2 is fouled straight back into the chain link fencing in front of the scout seating behind home plate. Action in the Red Sox bullpen. Matt Cavanaugh, a left-hander, had been warming. Jewett peers in and fires another 2-2, and it's on the outside corner. Strike 3 called. A slider, it paints the outer edge, and Luke Jewett has faced 4 batters and has struck them all out. Stretch time here at the ballpark in the shadow of Dennis Yarmouth High School at Red Wilson Field. Get up, move around a little bit. It's been quite a ball game. 2-2 tie as we head to the bottom of the 7th. Hope you stretched. Bottom 7 here at Red Wilson Field. Red Sox going back to bat against the left-hander Joe Sinella out of Seton Hall. It's Hayden Schott, Caden Connor, Homer Bush, 2 lefties and a righty. And before they go to bat, let's take a look at the scores around the league. Still a playoff spot up for grabs in the Eastern Division. Of course, this game here will decide the winner of the East, but the 4th seed in the East will be decided by the matchups in Harwich and Orleans today. Orleans is beating Wareham 1-0 in the top of the 3rd. If they hold on in that game, they get the 4th spot. They need to lose to give Chatham a chance. Chatham, of course, though, is losing 2-0 to Harwich. That's in the top of the 2nd. If that score holds, Orleans gets the spot as well. Chatham needs to win out. Orleans needs to lose today. Hayden Schott left on left. The first pitch, a fastball that misses down and outside. Katsuit and Falmouth playing out at Gov Fuller Field. Katsuit all over the Commodores early in that one. 6-0 the score in the top of the 4th. 1-0 to Schott. Put up in the air, shallow to left. The left fielder Goldstein comes in. The shortstop DiMartini goes out, calls, and makes the one-hand catch in shallow left. As Schott retired for the 3rd straight time to start his afternoon. 1 up, 1 down for Sinella. Brings up Caden Connor, the birthday boy, who's 0 for 2. Try to get something going for this Red Sox team in this 2-2 tie in the bottom of the 7th.
Caden Connor gets a lot of slack on this team for having what his teammates call warning track power. You'd love to see the birthday boy hit one over the fence.
He's been hitting home runs in batting practice with more regularity as the summer has gone along. But it seems like in games, when he hits something hard, it's always right at guys. Another left-on-left situation here. Connor waves that bat above the right shoulder in the first pitch slider that curves over the plate. A called strike. No balls, 1 strike to Caden Connor. The other score around the league is out in Bourne. An important game between the Harbor Hawks and the Bourne Braves. Of course, first place on the line in that one as well. And Bourne leads the Harbor Hawks 3-1 in the bottom of the 3rd. 0-1, a fastball and a called strike on the outside corner. Says home plate umpire John Patala. The count 0-2 on Caden Connor. A 2-tone bat for Connor. Black barrel and a tan handle wrapped in neon green grip tape. Infield plays him straight up, and the 0-2 is fought off foul. Breaking ball running up and away from the bullpen barber. Newly added to this Brewster bullpen, Joe Sinella, who started cutting hair when he was a freshman in college at Seton Hall. Found that he had a talent for it and has made a name for himself. Did this in the NECBL as well. 0-2. Breaking ball swung on and missed. Tipped into the glove of Curtis Byrne. A slider running in to the inside part of the plate on Caden Connor. He swung through it. That's the 2nd out here in the bottom of the 7th. Brings up Homer Bush. Sinella won't just cut his teammates' hair or cut the hair of anyone who needs help. He'll do it during games. Both in Seton Hall and with the Ocean State Waves, he'd set up his chair to be able to give haircuts to both teammates and fans during games. First pitch to Homer Bush is a breaking ball that misses in the dirt, goes to the backstop. 1 ball, no strikes to the right-hand hitting Bush, who walked, advanced on a wild pitch, could not score in his last at bat. Of course, if he can get on base, you figure the Red Sox would have a chance to score with his speed and a power hitter, Johnny Long, in the on-deck circle. 1 ball, no strikes. Fastball that skips in again. The count 2-0 on Bush. Sinella is out of Mahwah, New Jersey. That's my neck of the woods up in northern New Jersey. I've spent some time in Mahwah with friends. And earlier this summer, in June, with the Waves, the left-hander who works at 2-0, and it's on the inside corner, a called strike, a fastball. He started a game for Ocean State, threw 6 innings, and then after he left the game after the 6th inning, he set up his chair in the bullpen, and he cut hair until the end of the game. The 2-1, a fastball that misses off the plate away, the count 3-1 to Homer Bush. He's trying to work his way aboard with 2 out, nobody on, bottom 7, 2-2 tie in this battle for first place. 3 balls and a strike. Taken on the outside corner, a called strike.
Sam, would you let me cut your hair while you broadcast the game?
Not a chance.
Wow.
Oh, not a chance. I need a haircut, I'll tell you that much right now, but I don't think I would trust you with shears, Carlo.
Come on.
3-2 is hit softly on one hop towards short. DeMartini plays it, throws to first, and gets Bush just by a step. Close play with Homer's speed, but he's thrown out. A 1-2-3 inning for the bullpen barber, Joe Sinella, who works the Red Sox in order as we go to the 8th inning. A tie ball game and a good finish brewing. Here it's 2-2 as we head to the 8th. Good finish brewing here in South Yarmouth. The Red Sox, the Whitecaps, are even up. It's 2-2. Your score on your scoreboards, as the winner of this team will win the Eastern Division because Brewster has the tiebreaker. Even though the Red Sox play tomorrow in their makeup against Chatham, we've got some changes for the Red Sox. Braden Montgomery, the two-way standout from Stanford, will move to the mound from right field. Hayden Schott, who had been DHing, moves into the outfield to play right field. Everyone else stays in their spots. Montgomery out of Stanford pitches for the first time since before the All-Star break when he struck out the side against Wareham. First pitch, a fastball, and it just misses a little high to the DH Cam Fisher. Montgomery will work out of the full windup from the first base side of the rubber. A hard thrower. And the 1-0 is a broken bat ground ball, softly hit right side, charged by Cole Carrick, the second baseman. He'll flip to first in time. A 96-mile-an-hour fastball in on Cam Fisher's hands, and he creates some firewood for the first out here in the top of the 8th.
I love watching Braden Montgomery play. Anytime a guy can hit a ball 400 feet and throw 96.
He is a special talent, just a rising sophomore. He's a true freshman this year. The Pac-12 Freshman of the Year, who was good on the mound and hit 18 homers as a switch hitter. Pretty good. In that game against Wareham, when he last pitched, he had a similar performance. First pitch to Curtis Byrne is chopped slowly in front of home plate. That's a fair ball. Fernando Gonzalez makes the throw on to first as Byrne was slow out of the batter's box. And that's the second out very quickly for Braden Montgomery. Of course, in that game in which Montgomery struck out 3 of the 4 batters he faced, he'd give up a solo home run in that game, but in an 11-1 final, didn't really matter all that much. He also had the biggest swing for the Red Sox. He had a grand slam, drove in 5 runs, had a sac fly as well. The Stanford Ohtani, if you will. Kind of tough to pin maybe the most talented player in Major League Baseball on a guy who's just 19 years old, but that was what the performance gave. Here's Dylan Goldstein, left-hand hitter, on a first pitch slider that he drops in over the outside corner. No balls and a strike. Goldstein 1 for 3 today with an opposite field double. Tie game 2-2, top half of the 8th. Montgomery trying to give the Red Sox a chance to win this one late and give themselves a division title. No balls and a strike. in the dirt. Another off-speed pitch. Goldstein let this one go. The count 1-1 as the infield swings to the pull side on the left-hand hitter.
And a little scoreboard update, Sam, as Montgomery wants a new baseball. Wareham has taken a 3-1 lead on Orleans. So if Chatham can climb out of their 2-0 hole against Harwich, the game tomorrow would mean something for the Anglers.
Orleans has lost 2 in a row, both those coming against these Whitecaps. Unable to play spoiler in their fight in this division. 1-1 is high, a fastball. And that was, of course, after Orleans played spoiler for YD after they won 2 in a row against the Red Sox. That last fastball at 95, the count 2-1 on Goldstein, who has some power. He had 18 home runs this year for Florida Atlantic. Bouncing that bat above his shoulder. The 2-1 is a slider in for a called strike. And the count levels 2-2 to him. Has come out of the gates very hot for these Brewster Whitecaps. His double today was his 6th hit in his now 4 games played with Brewster. Came into today a .417 hitter, had 3 hits and an RBI in their game yesterday. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Upstairs, a fastball. The 2 balls in play, Carlo, to start this inning felt like a rarity because the last 8 outs recorded by Red Sox pitching had been strikeouts. The Red Sox had recorded 15 strikeouts across the first 7 innings of this game. Drew Dowd struck out 8. Aaron Calhoun had 3, all 3 outs he recorded. And Luke Jewett faced 4 batters, struck them all out. 3-2, 2 out, bases empty. Swing and a miss, in and out of the glove of Gonzalez. He will make the courtesy throw to first base. Johnny Long touches the bag with his right foot. 96 miles an hour by Dylan Goldstein. A 1-2-3 inning for the Stanford standout, Braden Montgomery. Bottom 8 coming up. Tie game, 2-2. Red Sox looking to get a run and win this division. We'll be right back. We go to the bottom of the 8th with a good finish brewing here in South Yarmouth. The Red Sox, the Whitecaps are tied 2-2 as both managers right now are talking to home plate umpire John Patala. We approach 7:30, which means it starts creeping into your mind how much sunlight we have left here. The sun has not yet set, nor will it set for about a half hour, but with 3 full half innings to play in a tie game and the result of this one mattering for division standings, you wonder just how much they'll let this one go. I think that there's a chance we can get this game completed. Of course, that changes in favor of us playing to completion if the Red Sox can get a run here in this bottom of the 8th. The new pitcher on the mound out of Texas State University. It's the left-hander Jack Stroud, who faces Johnny Long, Mike Bovee, and Fernando Gonzalez, the bottom third of the Red Sox order, but their home run leader, Johnny Long, leads off. Right-hand batter, first pitch from Stroud. The lefty misses inside a fastball. The third appearance on the mound for Stroud among this small army of arms that the Whitecaps have added over the last couple of weeks. 1 ball, no strikes. Swing and a miss. Long when hacking on a fastball and came up empty. Has not allowed a run across 3 innings of work. Had a save for Brewster back in Wareham on the 29th. 1-1. Fastball misses down and in. Johnny Long's got 5 homers. He had a homer in the Red Sox last game against Hyannis. That came against a left-hand pitcher. Facing a lefty here. Told us before the game, 5 is nice. He'd like to get to 6. 2-1. Up and away, a fastball, and Stroud has fallen behind his first hitter. 3 balls and a strike. Left-hand hitter Mike Bovee on deck. Stroud spent 2 years with Florida Atlantic before moving on to Weatherford College last year. 3-1. Inside corner, a close pitch. Patala giving Stroud the benefit of the doubt on a fastball in. The count runs to 3-2. Stroud working from the third base side of the rubber with a mustache. Kicks, fires. In there, strike 3 called at the knees. Johnny Long telling him that that ball is down, arguing with the home plate umpire, telling him it is so far down. He walks back to the dugout. And here's Mike Bovee with the bases empty and 1 out.
Yeah, I got to agree with Johnny there. That was a really tough 2 strikes against him. And
especially the 3-1 strike. The second strike of the at-bat looked very inside. Here's Mike Bovee, left-hand hitter, left on left. Bovee 0 for 2 today. A fastball on the outside corner, and you wonder if in the attempts to try to get this game in before the sun sets with no lights here at Red Wilson Field, John Patala has opened the strike zone up just a tad. 0-1. Inside corner, this one a strike as well. The count 0-2 to Bovee. Fernando Gonzalez to follow here in this home half of the 8th in a tie game, 2-2. Stroud's 0-2. Off the plate away, kicks up some dirt, and the count 1-2. Some jeers from the Red Sox faithful, those remaining here to see if the Red Sox can find a way to clinch a division berth. 1-2 on Bovee. Ripped on the ground, right side of the infield and through past Davis Diaz and into right field. A 1-out single. Mike Bovee picks up his first hit of the day, and the Red Sox will have a base runner in this bottom of the 8th inning. The go-ahead run is on base with 1 out.
And Scott Pickler trusting Fernando Gonzalez here, who's got hits in each of his last 5 starts, Sam, including a double his last time up. Got to imagine Fernando has earned the trust. Early in the season, we would see a pinch hitter in this situation, but the way he's swinging the bat, you're going to let your catcher go to work here.
Gunnar Antillian has a bat in his hands, but Gonzalez being allowed to take this plate appearance. A right-hand hitter. He doubled and scored the tying run his last time up. First pitch, a fastball at the knees. The count is 0-1. Top of the Red Sox order is in the on-deck circle with Woody Hayden. Gonzalez had 4 home runs this year, 8 doubles for the Georgia Bulldogs. Has some power in his bat. 0-1 is lifted in the air, out to center field, hit well. Ryan Lasko going back at the track, leaps and makes the catch, heading into the fence. Gonzalez made a bid for his first home run of the summer. It would have given the Red Sox lead. Instead, it's a long second out with Bovee returning to first base.
Just missed it. You wonder if it's a little warmer here at Red Wilson Field. That ball probably carries out of here. Gonzalez, who has power. We've seen it in batting practice, but could not get that one to leave the short porch here at Red Wilson.
Here's Woody Hayden, switch hitter batting right. It'll take a 2-out rally in this 8th inning to get something on the board for the Red Sox. Bovee leads from first with 2 out, 2-2 tie ball game. First pitch to Hayden. Swing and a miss, and he fires the bat towards the Red Sox dugout. As he'll have to reset, get some pine tar on that 2-tone maroon and black bat.
smile on his face as he heads back towards his dugout. Gave his entire dugout a death scare as that ball went flying their way, but he'll make sure his hands are tightly secured to his bat this time.
Hayden advanced the tying run to third with a sac bunt in his last at bat. He's also been hit by a pitch and scored all the way back in the first. Also hit a comebacker. 0 for 1 across his 3 plate appearances. A runner on first, 2 out, and 0-1 count to him. Not a lot of power out of his bat if that's your thinking. 0-1. Taking a called strike, a fastball over the inside part of the dish.
Bovee isn't slow over at first. He's got 5 stolen bases this summer. If Hayden can split a gap, you wonder if Mike will be rounding third.
The left fielder, Dylan Goldstein, is playing closer to the gap. Lots of room down that left field corner. 0-2. Swing and a miss. He got him a fastball up and away. Hayden strikes out on 3 pitches. The Red Sox strand Bovee at first after his 1-out single. They almost got a couple home. Fernando Gonzalez flew out to the wall. We will go to the 9th. The umpires confer and see if we've got enough sunlight to continue playing this ball game. A tie would be very interesting and cause tomorrow's action to have a lot more intrigue between the Red Sox and Chatham. The Red Sox go out into the field. The 9th inning comes to toe here at Red Wilson Field. A 2-2 tie. Braden Montgomery back to the mound. We'll be right back. Braden Montgomery will get a second inning of work out of the Red Sox bullpen as we enter the 9th. A tie game, 2-2. The winner of this ball game wins the Eastern Division crown. If this game ends as it stands, a tie game, tomorrow's rain-out makeup against the Chatham Anglers in Chatham for YD is the most important game they've played all summer. Montgomery faces Parks Harbor, Davis Diaz, and Grayson Tatro, 6 through 8 in the order for Brewster. Right-hand hitter, and Montgomery's first pitch is a changeup. Harbor swings over top. They count no balls and a strike. Today, Harbor is 1 for 3. Back in his first at-bat, he hit a sharp ground ball off the third base bag that caromed into left field for a single. He tried to advance to second, was thrown out on an excellent play by the Red Sox shortstop Woody Hayden. 0-1. A fastball for a called strike. And the count is 0-2. Montgomery worked a very quick 1-2-3 top of the 8th with a strikeout and a couple of soft ground balls. Tasked with trying to give the chance to the Red Sox for a chance to walk off in the bottom of the 9th. 0-2. Upstairs, a fastball. Let that one go. Harbor is without a home run this year, but at 6'3", 217, and with his 13 home runs he hit for the Georgia Bulldogs in the spring, he does have some power. He struggled offensively this summer, a 220 hitter coming into this game. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. He got him. Slider running down and away. Montgomery picks up his second strikeout and the 17th that the Red Sox have recorded in this ball game. Their best pitched ball game, I think, by pretty much any metric since the All-Star break.
Yeah, they've been absolutely fantastic in this Brewster offense that was averaging 7 runs a game, stifled here. 1 opportunity to score runs, the 2-out double by LaRusso, Sam, but outside of that, it has been quiet for Brewster.
Davis Diaz, another right-hand hitter, has reached in 2 of his 3 at-bats, a single, a walk. First pitch, a fastball, and he blew it by him, a swinging strike 0-1. Infield plays Diaz straight up. Guy with some speed you want to keep off base if you can. He stole a base after walking in the 6th. Montgomery from the first base side out of the full windup. First 0-1. Off speed pitch in the dirt. The count 1-1. The sun has moved down past the high school as we're dealing with less sunlight than we've had all day. 1-1. Fastball that misses a little low off the outside corner. Red Sox jeering John Patala on a 95-mile-an-hour fastball after Patala certainly seemed like he opened his strike zone up a little bit when the Red Sox were batting in the bottom of the 8th. Johnny Long rung up on a close pitch. That one, he ruled a ball. 2-1 on Davis Diaz. Montgomery fires. A fastball, it's nubbed to the right of the mound, played on one hop by the pitcher Montgomery. An underhand flip to Johnny Long in time at first base. And that's the second out. 2 up, 2 down, and 5 batters in a row retired by Montgomery to start this relief outing. And it brings up Grayson Tatro, a left-hand hitter. The last hope for Brewster to score in this game. If he gets through this, Montgomery, that is, the Whitecaps' best case scenario is to tie. Tatro, an all-star, a left-hand hitter, has driven in 18 runs with 7 doubles and a triple this year. No home runs, though. He hit 17 in school in the spring for Abilene Christian. First pitch goes fishing on a slider, comes up empty on one in the dirt. The count, no balls and a strike to him. Tatro, a ground ball, a walk, a run scored, and a strikeout across 3 trips to the dish. He and Diaz scored on Nick LaRusso's 2-run double. That was back in the 5th. Still the only tallies on the board for Brewster. 0-1. Taken off the outside corner. A slider, check swing. They check with Rick Emerson down the third baseline. Say he didn't swing. Another close pitch. Patala ruled it outside, maybe bent around the strike zone.
See if Montgomery delivers a fastball here to try to get him back ahead of the count. He's been sitting 95.
1-1. Slider, that's on the outside corner. Similar pitch. This one caught White. And the count 1-2 from Montgomery to Tatro. The infield, a slight shift to the pull side with Cole Carrick, the second baseman, playing with his feet on the outfield grass. The shortstop, Hayden, playing a couple strides to the left of second. 1-2. This is low, a fastball. At 95, the count levels 2-2 to Tatro. Two-two tie, top half of the 9th inning. We don't play extras in the regular season, even though this game is of great importance for both squads. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs to Tatro. Breaking ball that bends around the plate, and the count now 3-2 to him. If he can reach Ryan Lasco, the 9-hole hitter, but a talented player who played with Team USA earlier this summer. A standout from Rutgers in the on-deck circle. Montgomery out of the full windup. 3-2, 2 out, top 9 tie game on its way. And he skips a fastball in for ball 4. Can't put Tatro away after getting ahead of him. And a 2-out walk. And it looks like we'll have a pinch hitter for Ryan Lasco. Jamie Shevchuk is using his big bullet here. It's David Mendham. Mendham does not have a home run this summer, but has power. He had 11 home runs this year for Oklahoma State. Gets a favorable matchup as well. A left-hand hitter replaces Lasco, who was right-handed. The Red Sox have kept Mendham fairly quiet. He's 1 for 8 against them, and over his last 9 games, he's hitting below 200, a 5 for 28 stretch. A runner on first, that's Tatro. With 2 out, tie game, top 9, 2-2. First pitch to Mendham is taken at the knees, a fastball. 95 from Montgomery, exactly where he's been sitting. Tatro is a threat to steal a base. He has stolen 8.
reason you get Mendham here, Sam. He's got a lower strikeout number than most of the other guys on this Brewster team.
No balls and a strike. High fly ball, shallow to center. Homer Bush a few steps in. He's underneath. And he makes a one-hand catch. And that ends the top of the ninth. Brewster can no longer win. They can tie. It's up to the Whitey Red Sox to win this ball game if they want to win the East tonight. If not, we look to tomorrow with Chatham. Bottom 9 coming up. Last chance for the Red Sox in a 2-2 tie. We'll see if they can walk it off. We'll be right back. The final inning of regular season home baseball here at Red Wilson Field is one of intrigue. A 2-2 tie between the Whitecaps and the Red Sox. As they are tied atop the division, the last half inning of the Whitecaps regular season, as the Red Sox have a make-up tomorrow. A rain-out game that they'll make up at Chatham, 7 o'clock tomorrow on Wednesday. And if this game ends as it stands, a tie game here, 2-2 bottom of the ninth, that game will matter. If the Red Sox can walk off here in the bottom of the ninth, they're Eastern Division champions. And tomorrow doesn't matter for YD. Tough task with Cole Carrick, Braden Montgomery, and Hayden Schott due 2 through 4 in their lineup. It's Wake Forest's left-hander, Brennan Oxford, who's been one of the most outstanding relievers on Cape Cod this summer. He's allowed just 1 earned run across 12 outings. A .46 ERA. He was an all-star. Left-hander works to Cole Carrick, switch hitter batting right. First pitch. Fastball misses down and outside. Oxford last pitched yesterday against Orleans. He threw 2 scoreless frames to pick up the save. That was his first save of the season, being asked by Jamie Shevchik to work again in a close game. 1-0. In the dirt, the count 2-0, and Carrick, it's important that he reaches base. That 88-mile-an-hour fastball putting him ahead 2-0, because Cole, with his 15 stolen bases, is tops on this team in steals, has an aptitude for swiping an extra 90 feet. And with Braden Montgomery and Hayden Schott to follow in the middle of this Red Sox order, he is a key runner. 2 balls, no strikes. Popped up foul, took a big hack on that one. Cole, who has just 1 home run on the regular season, came as a right-hand hitter, but that was all the way back on opening night at Orleans. Only had
42 games ago.
A long, long time ago. Only feels like yesterday, though. He had 3 home runs for San Diego State this year. But at 6'3", he is strong. Could theoretically get into a baseball. 2-1. Fouled back off the catcher, Curtis Byrne. He took another big hack. And the count is 2-2 on Cole Carrick.
Carrick's not a guy who takes a whole lot of walks. The last time he took a walk was pre-All-Star break, July 20th at Hartford, when the Red Sox took on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. We'll see if he stays patient here, trying to beat the go-ahead run and reach.
Not a lot of sunlight left as we move towards 8 o'clock, 7:46 here in the middle of Cape Cod in South Yarmouth. The field encompassed by shadows, still some blue above us. 2-2, taken on the outside corner, strike 3 call. He backdoored a slider, and Carrick was frozen. It's the first out here in the bottom of the 9th, and a key hitter dispatched by Brendan Oxford.
Well, we knew Oxford was one of the best relievers on Cape, Sam, and the Red Sox have unfortunately run into a lot of those as of late.
And after falling behind 2-0, he works back for the strikeout. The Red Sox have snapped their 6-game losing streak. They cannot lose today. But that tie still means they'll have to play with meaning tomorrow. Braden Montgomery, switch hitter, batting right. First pitch, another slider. This one at the knees towards the outside corner, and the count 0-1. Chatham is still trailing Harwich. They're in the bottom of the 4th. If they lose, their game tomorrow against YD does not matter at all. They'll be knocked out of playoff contention. Outfield as deep as it can get on Montgomery, who has power. 0-1. Lifted in the air, out towards right center field, hit well. Tatro going back, has room, and he makes the catch about 3 paces in front of the wall. Montgomery a little behind that one. Can't get it to go. The Red Sox are down to their final out with 2 out and nobody on. Hayden shot, another power hitter, will work left on left, a tough matchup against the lefty Brendan Oxford. And Schott, who hit a home run in his first game with YD about a week and a half ago, right before the All-Star break, has not yet had a second. But that one came here. Left-hand hitter, first pitch. Swing and a miss out in front of a slider. Good one there from Oxford. Trying to secure a tie for the Whitecaps, and will leave their fate to tomorrow. The Whitecaps regular season concludes with a 3rd out tonight. They'll look to Chatham tomorrow. 0-1. Fastball in the dirt, Schott took it. The count 1-1. If he can reach Caden Connor, whose birthday it is in the on-deck circle, another left-hand hitter. Caden 0 for 3 today, but could be an interesting narrative if he could come through for the Red Sox on his birthday. But now it's Schott. 1-1. Fouled back to the net. He had a good swing at that one. They count 1-2.
Yeah, you could tell Hayden thought he had that pitch just underneath, straight back to the screen.
Infield plays him fairly straight up. A slight shift to the pull side on the left-hand hitter out of Columbia. Outfield again as deep as they can get. 1 ball, 2 strikes from Oxford to Schott. Is nubbed, foul out in front of a slider. Got a piece of it back towards Caden Connor in the on-deck circle. The count remains 1-2. The Red Sox got a tally in the first inning. Brewster got 2 to take the lead in the 5th. Red Sox got it back in the 6th. Cole Carrick had the game-tying hit, and we've been knotted at 2 ever since. Red Sox down to their final strike in this one in a 2-2 tie. The 1-2. Fouled back to the net on a fastball up. Shot again, had a good piece of it. He'll get another pitch, perhaps with eyes to that house uncovered by trees in straightaway right, a backyard he found a day before the All-Star break. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bases empty. On its way. In the dirt, he took it, a slider, and the count levels 2-2. Shot this year for Columbia, hit .320, had 12 homers. Tall, 6'3" left-hand slugger. He's lean, but he packs a punch. Trying to get something to hit against Brewster's best arm and Brendan Oxford. 2-2, 2 out. On its way. Is fouled off left side and out of play again. Long at bat here from Oxford to shot. Red Sox are second to last on Cape Cod in homers. They've hit just 18 as a team this regular season. This next pitch will be the 7th in the sequence to Hayden Schott. Trying to at least extend this ball game and give the Red Sox a chance to tally a 2-out run to win it. 2-2 again. Low and outside, a slider. Couldn't get him to fish. Curtis Byrne held it an extra beat, but John Patala said it missed away. The count runs full. The drama increases here at Red Wilson Field as the sky begins to turn from a bright blue to more of a navy. The sun has set beyond the tree line. No pockets of sunlight left on the field. The 3-2. Chopper slowly hit right side. Charged by Harper, the first baseman. Throw to first, no in time as Oxford couldn't handle the throw. The Red Sox get a 2-out base runner here in the 9th. Shot aboard at first. And we'll see who's going to take the at-bat for the Red Sox. Gunnar Antillian was up out of the dugout, but he's going to pinch run for Hayden Schott, it looks like. Replace a faster runner. That's going to be an error on Parks Harbor, whose flip to the pitcher was not on the mark.
Antillian was grabbing a bat, Sam, and Pickler was yelling, no, 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 not a bat, go to first. He thought he was pinch hitting, he's just pinch running. And now an opportunity for the newest 22-year-old in this lineup, it's Caden Connor.
Caden is 0 for 3 on his birthday. He struck out his last time up. Antillian at first can run a little bit. Has not stolen a base for the Red Sox this year, but he was 5 out of 6 in stealing bases for New Mexico State this year. The crowd remaining here in South Yarmouth rises to their feet, starting a chant in favor of YD. Left on left situation, Oxford to Caden Connor. On his birthday, trying to come through for the Red Sox. First pitch, taken at the knees, a fastball. They count 0-1. Caden lifted 4 home runs this year for Cal State Fullerton. He had 14 doubles, 2 triples. 7 doubles and 2 triples this summer for YD. One of the more consistent hitters in Scott Pickler's lineup all season long. He's been here since the jump. Antillian from first, 2 out. 0-1. Lifted in the air, shallow to left along the third baseline. LaRussa in foul territory, a long run. It lands untouched. And Connor will have to work out of an 0-2 hole. If he can find his way aboard, Homer Bush, a right-hand hitter, is in the on-deck circle.
Caden has had a couple of opportunities this summer, Sam, for walk-off hits. This has not been his first time here at home with the go-ahead run on the base paths, but he has not come through much, and we'll see if he's able to bring home a run.
Red Sox have just 1 walk-off hit this summer. That came in their very first win of the summer. It belonged to Mike Bovey. That came against Orleans. Antillian, not a huge lead over at first. He waves his hands back and forth. Connor peers in on an 0-2 from Oxford. The pitch, runner goes. Swinging a high fly ball, shallow to right. Diaz, the second baseman, out. It's the right fielder, Tatro, underneath. And he makes the one-hand catch. And that's how this one ends. A tie ball game between the Brewster Whitecaps and the YD Red Sox. And it means the Red Sox will fight for their life tomorrow. The Eastern Division comes down to a rainout between the Red Sox and the Chatham Anglers. The Whitecaps finished for the season. They played yesterday when YD didn't. The Red Sox need either a tie or a win to have the division title in their grasp tomorrow in Chatham. And we welcome you into the broadcast booth, Sam Lebowitz, alongside Carlo Jimenez for the final time here at Red Wilson Field in the regular season. Don't worry, we'll be back here Thursday as the playoffs get going. The Red Sox will host the first game of the playoffs, regardless of what happens tomorrow in Chatham. Carlo, a better performance for the Red Sox. They fought harder than they have really in a week's worth of games. They snapped the 6-game losing streak, but they can't come through with the win. What did you see in this tie?
Yeah, I mean, I think even though Whitey comes away with a tie, this is the most promising game we've seen since the All-Star break. You saw a pitching staff that really held it together. 17 strikeouts today against this Brewster lineup. You saw a group of hitters that battled each and every single at-bat. Didn't look anybody really just gave up and quit, and everyone really wanted to win this game. There's a lot of want on this team. Everyone up on the top of the dugout the entire game. Really felt like this was a squad that had been waiting for a meaningful game. They got a meaningful game, and they showed up. And that's what we were wondering. 6 losses. It hadn't affected the standings. It didn't really matter. But would they pull it together when it matters? And the answer is yes, they did.
I think a bright spot in this game, Carlo, is the pitching. The Red Sox bullpen in specific has struggled during the 6-game losing streak, giving up tack-on runs. And after Drew Dowd gave up the lead in the 5th inning, the Red Sox bullpen was impeccable. Luke Jewett, Aaron Calhoun, Braden Montgomery to finish. They were untouchable, a Red Sox staff that struck out 17 Whitecaps today.
Yeah, they were absolutely fantastic. You felt like Calhoun and Dowd maybe had a little bit more in the tank. Jewett was the old Jewett that we love to see. And now the rest of that Eastern Division, Sam, it will be scoreboard watching tomorrow because no one knows where anyone is at. If that score holds in Orleans and if Chatham is able to climb the hill, you could potentially have 2 spots in that playoffs up for grabs in terms of where people will sit. This division is nowhere near from finished, and tomorrow is a big game for everybody involved in the Eastern Division.
Yeah, and also to the point about the bullpen, maybe perhaps a glimpse into Scott Pickler's thinking about who he'll use most out of the pen come playoff time. A 2-2 tie here in Brewster. We've got one final ball game for you. It's tomorrow in Chatham, a makeup of yesterday's rainout, a 7 o'clock first pitch. You can join Carlo and I, Carlo on the play-by-play to start that one at 7 o'clock. From Veterans Field. We hope you come out and support a YD Red Sox team that to win this Eastern Division crown, all they need to do is avoid a loss. A tie or a win will get the job done. For our producer, Zack Clapp, Carlo Jimenez, I've been Sam Lebowitz. We'll see you tomorrow at 7 o'clock from Veterans Field in Chatham, Massachusetts. Thanks for joining us.